Welcome to Snap on This, a Marvel Snap podcast. This week's secret homework, not so Marvel Snap. I'm LaurenWhatevs here with my usual amazing, delightful co-hosts. First up this week, it's Ben. Ben, what is your favorite pizza topping?
Spinach. Also, the Carolina Reaper shredded cheese from the grocery store.
That is not what I expected. Neither of those, frankly. And Ree, our other co-host, what's your favorite pizza topping?
Okay, favorite is a difficult question, but I will go with my go-to, which is mushrooms and onions.
Ooh, those are very good picks.
Those are good ones.
I'm going to go with...
Those are definitely top 5.
Yeah, you picked 2. If I picked just one, I think people would hate me because I have the controversial favorite.
I have to drown every frozen pizza in a bunch of Hy-Vee's Carolina Reaper cheese. That's right. I've partially doxed myself. I'm somewhere in the Midwest. Ooh, because I mentioned Hy-Vee.
You're talking too long about pizza. We're moving on. I love pineapple on pizza. I like garlic on pizza.
Yeah, brevity is the soul of shit. More like, boom, got him. God
damn. Okay. New thoughts on last week's card, Kraglin. I haven't seen him. You two? Nope. Anything?
Oh, I did. I have seen him actually a couple times, and it was one of those where it's when it went off, I mean, I was like, yeah, that 2 energy was real nice for them, but when he doesn't, it's just kind of a 3-5 or something. You're like, whatevs.
3-7 if he doesn't get the energy.
Very often with cards, I can at least tell what the other players think maybe the dream of this card is. You know what I mean? I was seeing Moondragon around, and I still kind of see Moondragon around. But I don't even know what people think Kraglin is for, because they're not showing me.
Which one,
right, Moondragon is actually the 2/2, right? And then there's Moondragon and Dragon of the Moon, right?
Although either one.
Moondragon is the one that
worked with either one.
Yeah.
Moondragon is the one that plays with Doom 2099. Moondragon is the one or Dragon of the Moon is the one that plays with Ronan. Anyway, yeah, that's enough about Kraglin. I played him in ramp. It was fine. Weekend missions with Kraglin, I only got to play him once because you know what happened the other times? I played Star-Lord and my opponent immediately retreated. Oh, those were silly weekend missions. Okay. Let's talk about this week's new cards. Jack Flag, a 3/3 ongoing. Your cards here with increased power have +2 power. Did you get him? What did you think? Ben, I'm sure you got him because this is a surfer-ass card.
Yeah. I got him. He's real boring, real good. Does the thing. It's pretty cool there are a couple of cards that like buffs, receiving buffs more than other cards. And Captain Carter and Maverick are kind of at the top of the list, and they all go together. And so it did not feel very creative, but I put them, in a deck as I threatened to do the first time I read the card, and it worked exactly like I thought it would.
All right.
Super boring.
Okay. So I spent the 6K tokens on Jack Flag because I knew a low chance to roll, and he was one I want. I like to play around with ongoing. And I wanted to preface, so when I was looking at making a deck, all right, here's the thing with Jack Flag. He is good, but this meta, okay, and I was trying to think, what is so obnoxious about this meta? And I think Star-Lord was a tipping point in combo decks with okay, if you think the problem with negative, right, is negative got really consistent, and that's dangerous because a negative is really big. However, okay, with negative, one, they still need to draw negative, you know what I mean? So there's still it's still a built around one card deck, even if they have backups, right? But And then also it's like, you know, like Mobius usually just takes care of it for you, you know, like you can throw one card in your deck and generally win a snapback or whatever against them, you know, because it's very telegraphed too, right? And the problem with Star-Lord, and there is some telegraph, if they're trying to like Grandmaster, but that's the problem. Are they going to try and Grandmaster? They're going to absorbing man it, you know what I mean, in a different lane. Yeah. So here's the problem. So like he made combo decks, which combo decks were fun, right? When they went off, they were silly, but they weren't threatening because one, they were very telegraphed. Like almost always you'd have a Wong in there, right? Which it's like, okay, you know, Wong is easy to beat and read, you know, when it's out there. And, two, like it was just like they had to, it just wasn't as consistent when they hit it. And Star-Lord has made it so that you consistently have the energy, and therefore energy means you have everything else you need. Do you need to draw? Well, now you have the energy to play a card to let you draw more cards. You know what I mean? Energy is the answer to everything. So now there's enough energy to make the combos so consistent. And the combos themselves have such a variety that you can't just one card tech. Like throwing a Mobius in isn't, then you're just solved, right? Because even people are like, well, Cosmo, but like Cosmo, you still have to guess the lane. And most people aren't playing Wongs in their deck, right? And most people are varying it up, which way they're copying him or how they're, you know, doubling him up or whatever, Star-Lord. Or, you know, other shenanigans they're doing, or even if they're not, just the energy to pull off other things, you know, like Zol stuff. And when those combos go off, they're huge, right? So like a nice mid-rangey deck, like say like the deck I built with Jack Flag, it's like, oh, we're getting up to 30 power or whatever, which used to be plenty to win a lane, right? But like when a combo hits off, no, then like you're in the hundreds or whatever. So when you're playing in this meta, you either need to play you either need to join them and like go into this energy hog and play your own and just go that big as well, right? Or you need to have enough tech in your deck to deal with it, not just one card, you know what I mean? Like you're playing certain decks that have enough tech to try and counter what they're doing. So these kind of fun decks that got big just aren't big enough anymore against what used to be harder to pull off combos. And I know we had a problem for a while where it's like 5-cost cards never get played, 6-cost cards never get played. But like when they're all that gets played because people have the power for that, it's like the little add ups stuff, you know, just doesn't cut it. Anyway. Do you guys feel at all, before I move on to my Jack Flag deck, I was curious if you had thoughts on what I was saying about the meta, if you had your own thoughts.
But no, just strong agreement. Oh, also, I also have a Jack Flag deck, but I can maybe talk about it later.
Yeah, I think the meta definitely is... the game feels different now, and I think you do need tech to compete. Whereas, you know, more diverse metas where good cards and good play can do well, you can be a little more creative and compete differently. But we just barely, I think just today it came out on Fourth Location YouTube. We talked with Butt, who's a high infinite player. They don't really see Star-Lord in high infinite anymore because they've kind of chased it out with tech. And they're doing things like Daredevil, Cosmo, Supergiant, and then the one thing that's beating Star-Lord in height is Batroc. That deck just goes big. So if you're interested in hearing about that, but who's a player like me who wants to be doing fun, silly things, he's like, even in his creative deck, he's having to, you know, make concessions and throw in 2 or 3 tech cards to deal with the meta. Yeah, right. There's not one answers, like one card answers to these. Okay, like there's a lot of other decks. A lot of other decks have like a one card, like look at Helen's Stardust. You know what I mean? Like
things that get big, but you can shut it down with one card if you're playing that one card. Anyway. Okay, so my Jack Flag had to take all of that into consideration. I still want to do something fun. No, I honestly really, like, he just came out and I haven't really looked. I don't know if what I'm doing is similar to what other people are doing. I assume people have made, I wanted to do what I liked and that was fun, so I assume it's not the most powerful thing out there. But apologies if this runs really close to what someone else did, because I don't know what other people did. But I wanted to put him with Surfer in an ongoing deck with Ravona. I thought it was fun because I'm like, it was a good mix to me because there are plenty of ongoing 3s. And if you boost them all up with Surfer, they're added cards. And Moonstone can, obviously is a great pairing with Jack Flag. So, Captain Carter for sure is in here, but I put in Ravona to make some of these cards cheaper. So Mr. Fantastic, Mystique. I was keeping an eye to Moonstone, right? She's like the power here. Captain America, which I used to run I liked the Crackle, the old film Crackle on that one Captain America.
That's the one
you know what
I've
I'm
got.
talking about? That's what I was usually running. I just switched to Disco Captain America, and I know Ben just got that.
Yeah.
So we're twinsies there. Okay. And then because I've got so much ongoing and it goes with Moonstone and it's not bad to copy with Mystique if you don't have better things to play in your hand, Goliath is there. And Ant-Man. Now here's the thing. So all of this can get big. Like I said, 20, 30, whatever lanes, but we got to look at these combo decks, right? Like I was saying, so here is my answer to that and why I paired it with Surfer. One is Cosmo, right? 3-cost card. If you can get them, on where you think they're going to play it, if they have a more telegraphed play, you can prevent a lot of nonsensory, right? So Cosmo's great in there. And then we only have 2 on reveals in this entire deck. So it's easy to play around, Then Shadow King is the last card because the benefit of this deck is most of your boost is coming from ongoing and then you're adding this. So you can just Shadow King Surfer, right? And protect yourself completely. And so there's a lot of times I just did, you know what I mean? Yep, I got them both. That was my turn 6. Shadow King into a lane, Surfer, powers up, the whole Jack Flag going thing. And it was a lot of fun, I haven't seen a lot of Jack Flag, honestly. I mean, like I said, we're recording Thursday. It just came out Tuesday. I don't know that I played it all yesterday, to be honest. But I have played some, but I've still mostly just been seeing Star-Lord combo stuff. I haven't actually played against another Jack Flag, but that's what I've been playing.
I haven't seen much of him either. How often are you not having Prio on turn 6? It must be pretty reliable if you're getting Shadow King off.
Okay, there's what constantly I'm not. Because look, a lot of my stuff can kick off towards the end, right? And I've got Ravona, I can play things late. I lots of times would hold Mr. Fantastic just so they do, because they don't know that I have it, and then I can reach into the Sanctum, or the off location.
Yeah. Right.
That they aren't going to guess that I have. So plenty of, right, once again, just playing cleverly.
Yeah.
But there was one game, and to be fair, I was multitasking. I was literally doing something else and just looking over and barely paying attention. It was a gold conquest, so I probably should have. Yeah, but they were playing an obnoxious combo Galactus deck. With Goliath, right? Which is that was the one thing. I kept not paying attention and forgetting, and then they'd get their Galactus off, or they'd Goliath me. It was just I hate this. It was unfun. I could have done better if I was paying more attention. And Cosmoing appropriately. Always Cosmo. Safely. All right.
Ben, you want to talk about your Jack Flag deck?
I think at the very least, I'm going to talk about the Jack Flag deck I disassembled this morning to make room for other decks. And that was also a Ravona Surfer deck that I had. if I recall correctly, it was Serge, Ravona, Sam Wilson. Then it had, a bunch of the usual suspects. Your Captain Carter. I had Steve in there. I said last week I probably wasn't going to invite Steve to the Jack Flag party, but nope. I was a big stinking pants on fire type liar person. And I did invite Steve to the party, and it was pretty fun. I went actually a different way. I wanted to go Moonstone, but it just felt like a little bit of overcommitment to a single lane unless I could get her on my Mr. Fantastic lane, because I was also playing Mr. Fantastic. Oh yeah, classic Mr. Fantastic. What a guy. Anywho, but I guess my deck's other defining card was Spider-Man Noir, because I hadn't messed with Spider-Man Noir in a while. And so, I felt like Moonstone was not the most Spider-Man Noir-y. And also, she didn't go with Iron Man, who was there. And that deck was fun, and it was doing all right for me. But it did make me want... I tried that before the more traditional Surfer deck that I will now tell you about, because it's still assembled, because it's what I took to Infinite. And that deck doesn't have a cool name yet, although it may someday in the future. The deck, the good, well, I don't know, the other one was fine. The good Jack Flag deck, of my two Jack Flag decks, the one that's still assembled is America Chavez, Surge, Merlin, Brood, Captain Carter, Maverick, Silver Surfer, Jack Flag, Hope Summers, Mercury, Absorbing Man, and Show Loud the Undying. So I'm still on that show train. Oh my gosh, just friends with Maverick, and if you're friends with Maverick, we're partying. That's sort of the...
I think show's still very strong.
Also, still pretty good with Captain Carter too. Yes. These cards feeling still very mighty. Also, I think it's other people's tech. I've refused to incorporate any extra tech to deal with Star-Lord. I guess in a few decks I've been playing a Stardust that might not have made the cut in some other metas or something, but maybe that's more about Hela. I don't know. Anywho, point is, I'm really grateful for everyone else who's been using their tech to chase away the Star-Lord decks, because I have noticed a marked downturn in his prevalence, and I didn't find him to be unbeatable or anything before, but I did find him to be obnoxious. So I've had a lot of fun. Sometimes it's good to just let the game solve itself. Walk away for a minute. Things will be better when you come back. It's not all in your head. Sometimes it's a matter of other people playing, bullying unfun stuff out with tech cards that you don't feel like playing yourself. So, that's my Jack Flag list that I recommend, but also Ree's list sounds like more fun, so you should play that one.
I wish I was seeing less Star-Lord. I was still seeing mostly Star-Lord.
Yeah, I still see tons of it too, where my MMR is, my rank. Starhawk is available in Sanctum Showdown, but that just started today, so I think we talk about him next week. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
But now we're talking about Sanctum, right?
Well, normally this is where we would talk about next week's cards, but this is the last week of the season, so we will be ranking them alongside their season compatriots in a little bit. Yeah, we can talk about Sanctum. I don't have a lot to say. I've played a little bit, and move felt good overall, but weak against ramp. How about you?
Okay, I know Ben did told us before he hasn't really played yet, but I was able to get some in for once. I pulled a fourth location deck made by Scott, but I modded it partially because I didn't have the cards and partially because I would have anyway, because I do what I want, Scott. All right. Anyway, but I
discourage that.
I do love a Bat Rock. Sorry, go ahead. What were you saying?
Oh, no, I was just seconding what you said about telling Scott to go, take that and accept the fact that his decks are going to get modified by the co-hosts of Snap on This. Yeah, we'll borrow them, but we're going to chop and screw it.
That's it. We kind of our own path.
Yeah.
All right. Because I was thinking when I go in, I'm like, I kind of want to make my own deck, but I'm too lazy. Which usually means I can mod a Scott or a safety deck. Okay. And this one had Kitty, and I miss playing Kitty in Sanctum. I think the last time I was playing Sanctum, I was doing a lot of like Silk, Batrock, Hydra Stomp shenanigans, which are endlessly fun. But I miss doing the Kitty prep. Like, it's so fun at the end of these to be like 122 Kitty Pride. You know what I mean? Just every lane. It's like when you're playing Kitty Pride and you get to a certain point, you win every single lane because Kitty Pride. You just play her in that lane, you know? And that's fun for me. Okay. But in the list of Sky had like so many. He listed like 14 decks for Sanctum or something ridiculous like that. I don't know. It was too many for me. I'm like, I have to. It's like Lauren being like, "What's your favorite thing?" or someone being like, "What's your favorite band?" or something. And I'm just one of those people. I'm like, there are many things, and I have different moods and times and phases. You know, like the moon. So like picking one thing is pretty hard. I am getting distracted. Okay. This deck has Angela, of course, because Kitty Pryde is in it, gets it bigger. Elsa. Oh, that's why I was talking about Scott's deck lists. There's too many of them. I couldn't pick. I went with the very last one. He pointed out that since apparently last Sanctum, I guess, where I don't know how long they've been out. I feel like Zombies have been out forever. But he's like, Zombies are a new force to be contended with in a new way. Because, right, a lot of times you're using move to get stuff into that lane without touching it. And we're all like, how do we avoid Guardians? I have noticed a lot less Guardians. Still some Guardians, but a lot less this Sanctum. Like, there's starting to be a lot more move and stuff. People are getting around. The Guardians. But, Zombies are another way to do that, right? To put power into another lane without playing in it. And so this one has Scarlet Zombie Witch. If you were playing this and you had Zombie Giant Man, I do think he would go in this deck. I tragically do not have him. And I've been winning a lot without him, Maybe I'm just that good. Maybe it's made.
That's my explanation for it.
Sorry, what?
Oh, no. I
just looks fun.
Very plausible explanation.
Like, I keep not hearing. Okay. I am tuning this in.
Anything else?
Sorry. This deck has... Oh, Drax is a powerhouse in Sanctum. For real. Whatever deck you're playing, put Drax in it. Drax is like... It's just too good. Right? Like, sorry, not regular. Sorry, the new Drax, not the Drax that only gets played in Sanctum. Okay, Drax, Avatar of Life. Yes, this is one of those where it's just like, he's great. Maybe they'll ban him. Maybe they'll let him run free because, it's a good time for him. And Batrock is in this. Another good mover. A lot of people are playing move. And it's fun for them to move my Batrock around for me. Nightcrawler, Jeff, Lockheed. He had a Grandmaster in the deck, and I replaced it with Lockheed, which is actually worked out pretty well for me because Grandmaster had too many early with nothing to play because there are only two targets for him here, Shang and Sholau. And double Shanging is pretty nice, but not worth an awkward early hand. Show. Oh, man, I forgot to say it. Sholau. Sholau is in it because you are doing, it's a kitty deck, and Sholau is great. It works. And did I mention everything? I think so. The Hunger, right? Disappears, bonuses for Angela Scarlet. This is it felt like a newer, updated version of my old kitty nonsense, because it's just stuff that gets big. They can only Shadow King you once. Okay, and
Ooh, can I jump in with a Shadow King thought that I meant to mention earlier?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I had a full lane. Sometimes when I'm playing Surfer, I'll fill lanes before turn 6. It's controversial, but I'll do it. Oh my gosh. So this person saw how much power was in the lane. They fucking Shadow Kinged it on 6. They did not realize how much of the power was Jack Flag and Captain Carter and stuff, and like you can change all the numbers back to their base values, and it's still going to be fucking 25, dog. Sorry, you're going to need to like put a little more on that lane. Shadow King did not solve that for you. I've got a beautiful screenshot of an 8-cuber of somebody with a little bit of egg on Shadow King's face. Oh man, what a time.
Nice.
Sorry, Lee, continue.
Oh, no, you're good. I was pretty much done. I just wanted to randomly think, like, don't you think like fastball special would be good in Sanctum? I don't know. Like, I feel like in Sanctum, if you're going long, you want to free up lanes.
Yeah.
Because you want to free up lanes for yourself, right? Like, this is my part. Like, my very first game of Sanctum, which I still won, but it was squirrels. It was Central Park, which is like not what I wanted for my Angela. Like, for my deck of little, of this. Anyway. Yeah, so I've been playing that. It's been rocking for me, and I think if when you're heading out there, still Guardians, but fewer Guardians, lots more move. Just get people to do your work for you. Let them move around your bat rack, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Let them move around your Drax. Drax might give me hope against all the ramp that I'm seeing. I remember it was either the first or second Sanctum that you made like a Galactic Kitty deck, and it was so fun. And I eventually made my own version of it. But yes, I miss playing that.
I feel like I'll adjust this deck probably if I keep playing, but like this is where I started. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Lauren.
If Ben and I in the coming days, like before this goes live, if we have Sanctum decks we like, they'll be in the show notes. I realized I didn't talk about Jack Flag at all, and I just wanted to say just one small thing that I was doing with Jack Flag. I was playing C3, and you're like, what? That doesn't make any sense. But wait. Jack Flag is in the same timing window as Cerebro and Captain Carter. So as long as he's right of Cerebro, he still works in C3. And I was very much surprising people with how big my lanes were getting. I don't know why it's left to right. It's super weird. It should be reveal order, but it's left to right. And this is the ongoing cards where their power depends on other cards' power.
When you say left to right, does that if you had things in the front row and the back row, would it just go left to right, or is it like left to right in the front row, left to right in the back row?
It's like position 1, 2, 3, 4 on the left lane, and then that position 1, 2, 3, 4 in the middle lane. So it's not reveal order. You can do Cerebro Mystique on the left lane on the last turn, and they will like retroactively apply. I don't know, just the way that it calculates. Granted, Carter is not a 3, and so I was trying to, make her a 3 with like Valkyrie, but Valkyrie's fine in C3. There's probably a better way to do this. Bast was in there too, but it was fun playing with that mechanic. There are other cards in that timing window that I don't know would benefit the deck. Like there's Ajax and Diamondback and Omega Red. Yeah. But like, I'm just like, I don't know. You need like 1 or 2 more of those, and maybe you could do something real sneaky. Okay. Let's talk about the OTA. We don't need to go through the entire thing, but Star-Lord's deck got hit 3 ways. Star-Lord goes 4-5 to 4-3. Alioth goes 6-8 to 6-7. And Fin Fang Foom goes 7-12 to 7-10. If you've heard anybody else talk about this yet, surely somebody else has pointed out that Star-Lord's losing 2 power is actually 4 power less on the people who are doing Zola stuff. Ditto with Fin Fang Foom. Although, honestly, if you Zola Fin Fang Foom and lose, there's something wrong.
That's the thing. This Fin Fang Foom nerf is nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of already gave my thoughts on this earlier, which is where I'm at, which is the problem is it's like these are significant power decrease. 2 is a big slap off, but at the same time, which will, change some games, change some statistics, but I still think overall is the amount of energy you have to pull stuff off. So that's where I think the problem is.
Also, the Star-Lord decks that are being punished most by the Star-Lord nerf are like the least greedy and like, degenerate, if you ask me. Like taking 2 power off him only hurts people who are doing fair things with Star-Lord. Like that's the kind of Star-Lord deck that gets hit the hardest, is the one that's just being honest and playing Star-Lord once for good value.
Oh.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Avsman Grandmaster stuff's not affected, but the Zola stuff is a little bit. I doubt this is enough, but this is like the soft mid-season change while Star-Lord's still our season pass character, and then he'll get hit harder again later. And,
it's more than I was expecting.
You know, yeah, and well, I don't know about sooner. I think there was enough noise about how miserable Star-Lord is that I was expecting him to get hit this OTA. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it addresses the things that people don't like about playing against Star-Lord. But, you know, maybe it makes him weak enough that his meta presence decreases.
The thing is, okay, interesting aside thought with board games. A lot of board games you play, the bigger complicated ones, you know, that are like it's like points games where you're just trying to get the most points, point salad games. And they last a certain amount of rounds or whatever. And a lot of times what happens is you're like, oh, I almost got the perfect engine together with just another couple of rounds. I would have been like, whoa, you know? But like, they game tested it. And it's this way because when everyone hits their engines, it's not fun. It's too crazy. And making it that tight and confined and difficult to like try and build some kind of engine in such a tight space is like the game, right? and I feel like with Snap, like they're just starting with all the energy they're giving. It's like the confinement of energy, it stops you from doing, you know, like everything you want to do. And now they've just lit that cap off and everyone's like, oh, I can build my engines. But then they found out like there's a reason why they don't do that in board games, where they cut it down the number of rounds where you can't do that. It's not fun for everyone.
Yeah. I do usually consider it a quality of a well-designed game that I feel like my engine is finally going right as the game ends. Okay. The other notable change, the big change, maybe, I don't know. I don't think it's actually that big of a deal. Magus goes 3-5 to 2-3. It's a buff, but you still can't use on reveals. And I don't know. The OTA note said that they know people want to do it, but they still stand by that he can't do it.
Yeah, and I think they might be right about that. I think this was a good compromise. I'm excited to see if there's anything here. What do you think, Ree?
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I feel like Lauren's still like, sucks. And I'm like, but maybe. And she's like, no. And I'm like, but maybe. Like, I want to play with it. I haven't played with it at all yet. I could. I hit Infinite, like, you know, I haven't gotten around to it yet. It's too much Star-Lord nonsense going on for like Magus to have a chance against Star-Lord Masters of the Sun, you know.
That's fair. Yeah, I really want Magus to be good. He's just too expensive.
2 costs are pretty good. That's like one of the best costs.
Yeah, but then you have to pay the extra cost of the card you're copying.
That's
so it has
true.
Listen to me and Ben. Come to the dark side. 2 is such a bigger, like, right? 3 to 2 is a big drop.
It's very big. Yeah. So I've been thinking like, what are 3s I want to copy on turn 3? Or like, is this enough like time improvement that like I want to copy Firehair now? Maybe, but I don't know. I don't have a lot of hope.
Put like Hood in your deck or something and just skip a little energy, you know?
Hood is an on reveal.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know. I haven't played with me. Don't come to me with your facts like, against my dreams.
Exactly my point.
Hey, you know, maybe while we're playing an energy skipping deck, maybe the secret move is to play another 2 cost on turn 3 and try to find your Star-Lord late in the game, or not Star-Lord,
Sunspot?
Sunspot late in the game. Doesn't that seem like the most efficient thing to? No, it super doesn't. But you know,
yes.
A thought, right? It's a thought.
I was like, I could burn 3 to like copy Invisible Woman First Steps and then trigger it with Jocasta. But then, like, what if he's Jocasta? That's a problem. I just don't know.
Can I There are some other changes that I do think are a little notable. They did the thing they should have done.
Let's just blow through them.
They gave Rocket and Groot the point that they have deserved for like a year. They gave Jeff the point that he's deserved for like 2 weeks. They gave Sebastian Shaw a point that won't really matter very much because his thing isn't good enough anymore. His text is no longer good.
He's going to go to +3, right?
Ben, when was the turning point? When was the peak? When was high school for Sebastian Shaw? He feels like one of those.
You could play Sebastian Shaw was the week before Maverick came out. That's the last time you could play Sebastian Shaw. I bought a gold bundle with a variant of him and everything because I was like, well, surely I'll still be playing Sebastian Shaw sometimes. But no, not really. Not really.
You're right.
Also, this lockjaw change, pretty significant if you ask me, because skills are real good.
The lockjaw change did not go live.
Oh.
The Shauna and lockjaw changes did not go live. They got delayed for the next OTA.
Well, then it's going to be important then. Okay. All right. Well, then we can't talk about it.
We can still talk about them. We got creators got permission to talk about it because of how late it got delayed. So if we want to talk about Shanna can't generate skills anymore and Lockjaw doesn't swap. In fact, I'll put them back into the show notes. I had cut them, but I'll put them right back. I love that Shauna does not generate skills because there's 3 or 4 1-cost skills that they always go bad to hits. So I'm glad that Shauna can't generate.
Sometimes I'm glad to see him because she gets things so crowded. Maybe I'm doing Shauna wrong if I'm upset when she's crowding, but I don't know.
She's fun in some decks for sure. And then Lockjaw is set. They're changing it so that after you play the next card, swap it with one from your deck, to after you play your next character, swap it with one from your deck, which I'm guessing means it can only pull out a character.
Yes,
that's how you read that.
That's how I'm reading it, and that's why I think this is a big improvement because it's safe to play with skills.
That is a huge improvement. Yeah, that also
narrows it
almost
down.
lets you make Lockjaw more targeted, and if you have a deck with a bunch of skills.
Yeah, I think this is a big change and
a
one
zombie
that we
Galacti card or something.
Hate. Also, as much fun as it's zombie Galacti. That was just a thing that someone said wrong in the season video, and
I know, but other people all think Galacti now.
Uncontested. It's zombie Galacti,
I think it's
y'all.
an
The plural
in-joke
of
at this
cacti
point.
or cactus is cacti. Octopus is octopi. It's not octopi. That's what they number one.
Octopuses or octopides. I don't know.
Is it?
There's
okay,
all
Lauren
of them
might
are
know
valid.
better than I do. I don't know.
It's something about octopus is Greek, not Latin, and so technically it should be octopodes, but mostly I think people just say octopuses. Anyway, Lockjaw and Shanna, they should, if all goes well, should go live in the next OTA, but who knows? All right, we are going to rank March's cards. Well, not rank. We're going to rate them, which may inherently also rank them. Anyway, if you haven't been with us when we do that before, we give them a 1 through 4, 1 being bad and 4 being good. And you can think about it however you want. It could be pizza toppings. This season, importantly, has a new keyword, objective. We have some idea how it works from data mines, and we are going to rank these under the assumption that objective tracks the whole game, right? And then when the card is on your board, it checks end of turn to do its ability, and it will only do it once.
Because otherwise a lot of these cards would be real bad. And I'm pretty sure they're not.
I agree. Yeah, no, especially the following season, April season, has some objective cards where I'm like, if that doesn't count the whole game, that's not playable.
Some of those would be clunkers for sure.
But also some of them are really strong if they do. So we'll see.
Yes. That too.
First up, season pass card. Ben, you want to take it?
Yes. Our season pass card is En Sabanur. For those who don't know, that's Apocalypse. 4/5 with an objective: have a full front row at each location, transform into Apocalypse Celestials Chosen. And wow, it seems like he was chosen by multiple Celestials. No, not just one Celestial. There was a consensus among multiple Celestials that they choose Apocalypse because of where the apostrophe is. That's cool. He's a 4/8. So on reveal, this is like after the objective gets happened. You'll get the on reveal when it transforms. I mean, like that's probably clear, but you know, if you polymorphed a thing, you get it. Anywho, on reveal, swap the lowest power card in your front row at any location with a card from your deck. So that seems a little difficult to control in a couple of different ways, in that you don't know which location you're spitting the card out, and you don't know which card you're spitting out.
I don't think it's random location, pick the lowest. I think it's pick the lowest out of your front
lowest
six.
Out of all of them.
Oh, yeah. I see what you mean. Okay.
So if you've got a hood out, you know.
But still, the swap is interesting in light of the Lockjaw conversation we just had.
Yeah, I kind of think maybe I'd rather be playing Lockjaw than this. That's sort of what I think. Having a full front row at every location, I mean, yeah, what turn do we think we're fulfilling this objective? Are we fulfilling it on turn 6? I mean, like, because then you have things the most narrowed down, but it's still not that narrowed down, is it? That's still like 3 cards you might be pulling out.
That's part of what you're deciding, right? Like, you're just like, am I going to fulfill it this turn? You know? Or am I going to wait? Like,
yeah, but I mean, like, even if you wait all the way until turn 6, that's still a 1 in 3 of whatever is left in your deck. I don't know. I mean, like, it's probably a good value proposition for a 4-cost. I mean, it gets rid of a card, but on turn 6, you're not going to draw any more.
So what do you
also it swaps them, so you're going to draw the low card again, or you could rather. It like once.
That's never stopped you from playing Once in Future.
No, it hasn't. But I'm just saying. Hey, buddy. Okay, I'm just saying. Like, it seems. I don't know. Like, maybe it's worth it on just raw numbers. Like, you're getting a lot for 4 energy, right? You're getting the 8 stats of Apocalypse, the final form, and whatever the improvement is on your lowest power card to whatever the random card is. But I don't think it's consistently like control. Like, I don't know if you're going to be able to guarantee consistent, like, serious value, or if this is just like kind of a beefy Crossbones Cull Obsidian, like. I'm not real impressed with. I don't think there's an actionable like plan, you know, like for this card. So I'm gonna give it a 2. I'm not. I don't know. It might be worth it for raw bodies and stuff, but I don't know.
Ree?
All right, I give it a 3. I think it's. You know, it's easy to fulfill. Like, what is Jessica Jones now? A 4/9? A 4/10? Yeah, fix Jessica Jones. Right, and this is a 4/8 that lets you get rid of a card you don't want to pull out something from your deck, which is going to be better than the hood, or if they, you know, maybe Green Goblin you or something. I think, but it is something you build around. You know what I mean? But it's so easy to fulfill. Anymore, I'm usually trying not to overfill spaces. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's like one squirrel, like one Central Park, it's just like, throws everything awry. I don't want a card everywhere. So, like, easy to fulfill. Even if you're just using it to get rid of a hood in your Gilgamesh deck, right? Like, I don't know. Seems good. That's where I'm at. What about you, Lauren?
It's a 2 for me. I think this card is one of the worst of the season. Part of the reason, I don't think it's bad on its own, but I think it has so much competition. Polymorph, Viper,
fair, just for the spot.
Carnage, Cersei. Like, there are so many things that are just better to do, that are either more reliable or that give you better payoff. Lockjaw, another one. I don't think it's like it's a problem that it just swaps with the card from your deck. Like, I would be so much more interested in this if it was. I mean, that's a real place people will play it, right? That's a real place people will play this. Maybe is you use Mjolnir to fill your front row. Mjolnir switches back into your deck right away. Sure,
perhaps to be e-treed out the same turn.
Yeah,
there's
cute things you can do with it, right? Like,
I mean, for me, I don't
be adorable. Yeah. I see the potential, the possibilities, the games that might be won.
If you time it right, like you can use this to get rid of the void as soon as you create the void. But like those are both 4s.
Or you could just evolve it with polymorph. I mean, like that's like the worst thing to do with the void is shuffle it back into your deck.
Right. I can't remember if I said this on the things that are better, but misery. Like if I'm getting rid of the hood, I would much rather do misery, which is what, the same stat line, maybe even a 4/9.
Still a 4/9.
I think she's a 4/9, which is just straight up a better thing to do than this card.
Oh my gosh, all in one turn.
I don't know
and just
what they're thinking. I think the objective is easy to hit.
In like a zoo deck where you might
swap a 1 out for another 1.
But what if you missed your Khazar or your Blue Marvel? Okay.
If it did blink, I would be much higher on this card. I still think it would be like just okay. But like if I could get the guarantee it was upgrading the card, I'd be much more interested in it.
Sometimes this will be a 4/14 or whatever, but we have other 4/14s that work every time.
Yeah. Just like it's not a fun type of like I like leaning into RNG, and I just don't think this is a very fun version of that. Maybe in a deck that has like, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like, if you have a deck that has lots of good hits in it, it's going to be way harder to fill your front row. You know, like, oh,
yeah, yep, that's so true. Right. Like, if you are doing high curve things where you could be hoping to do a big swing, yeah, the condition becomes more difficult.
Right. I'm thinking of like old like Lockjaw Casino decks, and it's like, no, but the curve is too high. You can't fill your front row fast enough. Maybe it's okay because you can just leave him on the board and wait for him to do it on the last turn.
Maybe.
I don't know. All right, Ree, with the super premium season pass.
Oh, it's super premium. Sad. I was like, I love this card.
Like, you can buy it for 6,000. Or no, you can't. The super premium is only in packs, huh?
Super premium is only in packs until they.
That's so goofy. All right.
It is.
Okay, so East of the Unbeaten is a 4/3 with end of turn. If you're losing this location, double this card's power. And this is a high 3 for me. I don't know. Kind of want to give it a 4. I just think it's fun. Once again, we are tired of like these like slop cards with like, I don't know, some random card gets a buff somewhere, and this other thing happens that is a thing that happens in Marvel's Night. This is like a new, it's like, oh, okay, this is something new to toy with. You know, I want to get it out early somehow, obviously, so that it may, it's just it's a fun thing to think about, right? So, high 3 for me. Were you about to say something, Ben?
I mean, you get it out early. So, I mean, like what I guess I fail to see like what the advantage of getting it out.
Oh, because eventually you win and it stops doubling power.
Yeah, because like it only doubles until you're winning there, and then it doesn't until you're losing again.
Okay,
like,
but what if they
your opponent just like knows what's going on
and then
game.
You're doubling again? Okay, I don't know. It's a fun thing to think about. I haven't like thought a lot about how I would use it, which I guess maybe we should have with rankings.
Oh, for sure.
But feelings-wise, I love this.
I don't know if we prefaced. I don't know if I prefaced, but like, wow, I did not think about these cards before the recording. Usually I've prepared more than this. I'm like, oh, is that how Apocalypse works? Oh, that's neat. Like, this is a learning experience for at least me. I don't want to speak for my co-hosts.
No, it's okay to get a variety of perspectives. I always do it
every time.
Right. Ben and Rhea are dealing with this fresh. I have already ranked them on Snap Judgments and fourth location, so I've had time thinking about this. But often I also am fresh on these. It's just the way that the timing worked out this season. Iska's a 4 for me. Possibly a 3. Maybe she should be a 3, but I'm giving her a 4. And let me tell you why. First of all, you play her on 4 and she gets all 3 doubles off. That's a 24 power card. That's only going to work in certain metas, but like if she only doubles twice, she's a 12. Like she's pretty big on her own. But the reason that she crosses the threshold for me is Invisible Woman First Steps. She is just going to win a lane by herself because at the end of the game, you have her go 2 or 4 times and she just keeps doubling until she's winning.
Yeah. I
like that better than Doom 2099, which is the Doom 2099 is the other
right.
high
That's what
cost
you want to
thing
do
to do with
her.
Invisible Woman, and I think this is better than Doom 2099.
But it only wins the one lane. I mean,
yeah, but then you can play her and Havoc or her and Cena on the last turn. Like, it's fine.
It's end of turn deck. When you get those off, like you winning. You know,
like I feel like the end of turn synergy is like the strongest thing this card has going for it.
Yes,
I feel agreed. I feel like without the support of Invisible Woman First Steps and mostly just her and probably Jocasta. Like, I guess that's the only way this card comes. Like it's the only way this card has the element of surprise at all. If in fact it is surprising. If you just play her on turn 6 with no support, she's a 4/6. Yeah, it's not great. Yeah, I don't know if I'm a believer in this one. Maybe I'm super wrong, but I think it's not doing a desirable thing. Like this is not a good mechanism for like gaining power. I'm giving this one, I guess, a high 2, maybe a Guardians 3.
We're out of Guardian season. Yeah. Okay. That's pretty harsh. Did you not believe in the end of turn synergy?
No, I guess I mean, like, it's probably like, is this even the best thing for the end of turn synergy to do? I'm not
damn good.
Yes.
I feel like it's flashy.
Yes. Over
it's like
there's
it's an
also
exciting effect.
Havoc and stuff.
4 doubles is 48 power. like you have to be facing a lot of power for multiple doubles.
I guess
to
it
not
does
get
does solo a lane in a way that like maybe other end of turn cards don't do, because like Havoc, Athena, they don't always solo or even together. They don't always duos
but they
a
always
lane.
scale 3 at a time.
Yeah. All right. I guess I'll bump this one up to a real 3. A real 3, not a Guardians 3.
All right.
But I still have doubts.
It's right there in her name. She's unbeaten. I say that every time I see this card. Okay. Juggernaut, Horseman of War, a 2/2. Objective, have 6 different powers among your other cards in play. And in reward, you get 6 power. So he ends up at 2/8. The objective is kind of hard to do. It depends on the deck. I think the kind of deck that wants to do this is a rampy deck, and that deck is better off using Chamber or Moondragon, and also would struggle to get 6 different powers anyway. So I struggle to know what deck this goes in, because if you're playing a small cards deck, you want an engine piece, not a 2/8. And it's a 2/8 you can play on the last turn because of the way objective works. So that's something, but mostly I think this card is just not enough. And so I'm giving this a 1. This is probably my only 1 this season. Ben?
I was going to give it a 2, but that was just to be nice. Since Lauren is,
broke the seal.
She's blazed this trail for me. Yeah, this card's a 1. Vanilla 2/8 is not anything. Call me when you can be played on any location like Jeff. You only need to be a 2/4. Just have good text, Juggernaut. Except Juggernaut has no text, except it doesn't even count as a vanilla card for certain cards that care about having cards with no text. This guy's got text, ruining everything about him that was like kind of okay. Also, I don't think that the condition's going to be bad. Yeah, if he flops, he's a 2/2. And I don't think he's going to flop that often. I think it's pretty easy to get 6 different powers. I think that, like, we all remember Miss Marvel, right? And I would,
I still play Miss Marvel occasionally.
Love that you do.
She's very fun and cool. And also,
she
basically always gets her effect if you want it, at least in one lane. And I think
this is how you win Snap. If you can find ways to power up like cards that people don't play and don't expect, right? That's how you get cubes.
Yeah. Except there's no way to power this card up. You can't play Onslaught on it like you could with Miss Marvel. You can't copy copying the text is not. There's just nothing to do with this card. It's not
right. This card might be revitalized when. It might be revitalized when Objective Shikasta, Objective Wong, when that comes out, maybe.
But I don't even think it hangs with its the other, like the cohort of Objective cards. This one's still on the weak side. Like, I don't think this card is anything at all. I think, Lauren, wow, this is really like making me. Why did I even want to give this card a 2? I don't know. I don't think this card is anything. Like, it's a 1. It's a 1.
I know that I have a slant to give boring cards low scores, and so it's like, am I being biased or is this actually just bad?
Like, for what deck is this card?
That's what I don't know.
Where does this go? Everybody else is doing bigger and better things than vanilla 2/8s that don't even count as vanilla.
Ree?
Okay, I give this a 2. I think because the 2/8 is big, there are worse 2s. But it is weird because it's like something you need to build around. It feels like, what you both have been saying over and over again is where's the synergy? And that's correct. But it does feel playable. There's, like I said, I don't think it's terribly hard to pull off getting different powers. But it's where are you putting it? I think there are worse cards. But it should go. I know we're probably not going to see it a ton. Well, something else comes along to synergize with it. But Mantis exists. Jessica Jones exists. I think these cards will see play before those cards, to be honest. So that's where I'm at with it.
That's a strict bar to get something into the 1 zone. Ben, Gambit.
I mean, what are they then? Zeros? Because like, when are you seeing some of these old cards ever?
It's a good question. It's our totally arbitrary. It's our totally arbitrary system. But like, if you say that cards need to be divided evenly between the 4 scores, right? It's like, is it a bottom 25th percentile card? I don't know. We've never established.
Are we ladder ranking them? Where one moves up, another must move down.
Right. We've never like established exactly what our ranking system or rating system means, and that's intentional. But yeah, I would say I would rather play Jessica Jones than this card.
Yeah. Yep.
Also, Mantis. Mantis is a 1/3 now. I would rather play Mantis than this card.
I forgot she's a 1/3 now. I haven't tried to mess with her again recently. She disappointed by the last several times.
I was using her in the C3 deck, and then I was like, nope, she's clogging up my hand. She became M'Baku.
She was still the dry one, at least when we were playing Major Victory the other deck. Yeah, like Mantis. That's like our drinking game for this podcast. How many times do we just bring up Mantis for no reason?
We want her to be good so bad.
Well, who knows how many times we'll bring up Mantis this episode. Are you ready to hear about my friend Gambit, the Horseman of Death?
Yeah.
He's a 3/3. He's one of these objective cards. One of those ones. Play 5 total cost of created cards, and your reward for that is to randomly destroy up to 4 total cost of enemy cards. I'm giving this one a 4. I think it's not cool. I am not looking forward to it at all. You know how like Gambit whiffs sometimes? Gambit Classic, he'll hit a rock or a hood or something that doesn't matter. This Gambit is always guaranteed to hit something that matters. It's no good. It's bad news. This card is unfun, and I think it's real unhealthy. I don't like anything about it, and I hope that they reconsider and do a different design.
Rie?
I also give it a 4. The thing that Gambit has on this, at least this one, you can't like repeat a million times like you can with Gambit.
That's
but
good.
like, it's easy to pull off, although it is built around. If you're playing that many created cards, I guess you just play a bunch of swarms. You're probably playing in that
that's
style
the thing.
rather
Also,
than.
you know what? Maybe one of the created cards is a second copy of Gambit, blowing up 8 cost worth of cards. Like this is the Victoria Hand situation where
this like you would a bullseye and stuff too. Yeah, you're right.
Oh no!
It's gonna be bad.
Never low rolls.
It.
It never ever low rolls. It's not going to be fun.
Well, it says up to 4 total cost. If up to 4 total cost, so it's not like you're necessarily always going to take out their Inviswoman first steps or Jocasta, but it can hit those for sure.
I mean, it'll take out your Athena and your Havoc in one fell swoop.
Yeah,
it's devastating for some decks.
We're all saying it's I mean, we've seen Gambit, good Gambit hit wins a lot, and this is, I mean. Like I said, I agree. I think it's strong. It's 4.
Here's my problem with this Gambit. Besides that, I don't want to play against it. The timing is weird because a lot of the early cards you could hit, like the 1s, 2s, and 3s, are like your opponent's setup cards where you would mess them up and it would be devastating. But it's really hard to have 5 cost of created cards down that early. Yeah. Mysterio is pretty much the only way I can think of to do that. So you can play him late, but when you play him late and he activates, he's going to destroy 4 cost of power or 4 cost of cards, and that's probably that's got to be worth at least 10 power, right?
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if you're discarding this, or if you, like you said, you're trying to take out the early stuff. So maybe you are like squirrel girling and stuff, and then you're just playing to like Killmonger that all later or something.
So like even Squirrel Girl and Shauna, that's only 5. Well, I guess that's enough.
It's so easy for us to come up with synergies with this card. Yeah. It's not going to be fun.
I really think Mysterio's the only one. If you want to play him early, which is why
I don't think you need to play him early.
Squirrel Girl's only 2.
It doesn't matter when you play him.
You need 5. How are you getting more than 2 created cost on the board?
You need to get 2. So there's 2, and so that would be on turn 1. And then, I mean, but like...
Mr. Sinister's another 2. Like, Shauna's another 3. Brood is 6. Like, there are ways to do it.
It really just doesn't seem to matter.
Turn 4 as opposed to turn 3? Like, that's totally fine. I'd be happy for this.
When you hit him late, he'll have more targets, which also means a higher chance that he hits something that doesn't matter.
4 costs a lot of times matter.
I think you can't destroy 4 cost off of someone's board without hitting something that matters. Is my feeling. Like either you're hitting a Moonstone or you're hitting 2 costs, or you're hitting a 3 and a 1. Like
a 3 cost,
Real cards are going down when this card hits the objective.
But what
it doesn't matter if it's turn 6 or turn 3.
Here's the question, though, Ben. Think about this. We don't know. Does it destroy a 3 cost? Does it pick randomly and it'll say, okay, it destroyed a 3 cost. It picks another random cost. That is a 2 cost. Now that's above, so it's just done. Or does it then be like, no, I'm going to go to a 1 cost?
It won't.
If Gambit tries to destroy something that's protected, right? Huh? What do you think, Larry? What are you saying?
I'm sorry. Were you saying if something is protected, like, will he keep going?
Okay, no, but how does he choose? So, like, some things choose their target, and then if it doesn't hit, it doesn't just go off, right? So is he going to randomly pick something? It's a 3 cost, and he destroys that. Then now he picks a second target randomly. That's a 2 cost, but that would be more, so then it whiffs. Yeah, that's the question.
I think he'll probably look for a 1.
Or a 0.
Yeah, if
I think basically,
he
destroys something and then he sees how much cost he has left to hit. If there's anything on the board that's that cost, he'll randomly pick one of them, check how much cost he still has to destroy, repeat. So zeros are always
the other way, but I bet it's smart.
like Polaris
Smart
and
enough.
stuff, like they target randomly, and if that thing can't be moved, then that's a whiff, you know?
Yeah.
I hope it works that way.
I don't know.
This thing is different because
But
it's
you
up
could be
to
right.
force.
I see what you're saying.
So I expect he could destroy multiple cards, right? So like, yeah, what if he
That's
does
the whole
whiff? Does
point,
that,
yeah.
if he hits armor, does
I
that
don't
count
know.
as 2 cost of a destroyed card?
Right? That's what I'm bringing up, is that, like, I don't know, just stuff we won't know till it comes out, probably. Or
This is nitpicky
Yeah,
and maybe
it's gonna be
doesn't matter, but
interesting.
it says play 5 cost of created cards. Does that mean things like Brood and Squirrel Girl won't work? Because they're not played created cards?
Oh, you
It
mean,
may very
okay,
well.
that's why you're saying Mysterio. I kept being like, Lauren, what? I don't
No,
know
I
what
like
you're saying.
Mysterio is 6 cost. That's why I said Mysterio. He's a
So
2 that
we're
gives you 6.
Are we thinking Merlin friend? Are we thinking Prowler friend? Are we thinking? I mean, those 2 are the first. Like, they seem a cut above some of the other cards we could be mentioning here. But if these do need to be cards played from hand, that does kind of change things. That makes it a little harder to. Is this a Clea card? I don't think it is, because I think they kind of clash, because afflicting, like, you don't want to afflict things before you roll for the destroys. That's you're
true.
eating
Yeah,
your
only
lunch
afflict
at
high cost
breakfast.
things.
I'm
So
just
it's not a
trying to
clear
say
card,
that I
The other
think there
questions stand.
are things that could limit it, but it's still, I think, that doesn't change that it's a 4-star, I think. Like,
Yeah,
regular Gambit. String random enemy cards, just generally obnoxious and good. I don't know.
Still a 3 for me. To me, it seems like the kind of
yeah.
card that's super flashy, and everyone's like, "Oh, this looks so good," but then it's like, but you didn't really think through what it does. I could be
Okay.
wrong, though. You know, it's totally possible that it'll be devastating. I'm sure it will suck just because of the RNG sometimes, whether you're playing it or playing against it.
Okay, I have Sandstorm, which is going to be a skill, and it costs 2.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Rude. Good stuff.
Yeah. On reveal, add 2 rocks to your hand. Give them +1 power for each of your front row characters. Limited time event. I mean, a 4-star in my heart, because I'm into the rock deck unless it becomes meta. Let's say my fun, silly thing that I'll make strong and surprising in my way. But if everyone's playing it,
Yeah.
It'll be meta for a couple weeks because of this season.
yeah.
Well, who knows if it's just a couple weeks? I don't. I think if anything's worth being meta for a couple weeks, it's probably worth playing like all the time, or it's worth like being in the like I don't know. I think if rocks are real, they'll stay real. Damn it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's true.
What were you saying?
No, you're good. I think right, I don't know. I feel like I'm tired. I like it. I think it's easy to, I think in a rock stack, you probably are having a lot of, right, it's all synergistic. There's nothing, like, this works with rocks, it'll be good. I think, actually, even though I'm, like, excited for it, probably a 3. You're definitely building stuff for it, not just throwing it anywhere. But this is still a great one to throw down on 5, right? It's not.
Oh yeah.
It's not the worst if you have to throw down earlier than that. You could double it up if you wanted, and if you're doing silly stuff with rocks, I don't know. I'm into it. Go ahead. I don't know who is up next in a rotation.
I think this card is really, really good. There's the other rock card that we'll talk about in a little bit. That's Ozymandias, and he's kind of only a rock card. But this doesn't have to be only a rock card. This could be Zoo.
True.
This could be Victoria Hand.
Victoria Hand. Yeah, fair.
Like,
Okay,
this
right.
is a strong card. If you play it late enough, it's giving you 2 demons in your hand. There's stuff you can do with that. And like maybe like 2 costs that doesn't leave a body on the board. Like maybe that sounds like a bad thing for 2 demons, but like people play Hood and Misery for 2 demons. Yeah, I think this is quite strong. And I know they're not always going to be demons. Sometimes they're 1/4s, right? But like that's still pretty good. You have a lot more control over this over Mole Man. And I know that's like a low bar to compare to, but then you start combining them together for now. But once you have them together, you start doing synergies with Victoria Hand and Patriot and Ozymandias. And like, I think it's going to be real.
Oh, it's definitely going to be real. That's what I think.
It's a 4 for me. Ben?
Ooh, I wish I could go quite that high. I can only give it a 3, but I can't give it less than a 3 because I'm so fucking here for the rocks. Oh my gosh, I've been waiting for this. I'm very excited for this. I like fun things, and I think rocks are fun things. I will say one thing that tripped some alarms for me in my mind was, wow, this card seems like something I should play Black Swan with, and that's a red flag. I don't know about that. Just the fact that this card makes me think I should be playing Black Swan maybe in the same deck, that tells me
kind of like that though.
There's got to be a tipping point where maybe Black Swan is
it's a
like
hit monkey card.
Decent. I don't know.
Is it?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm just saying, if a card makes me want to play Black Swan, I'm suspicious. But I still got to give it a 3 because I love rocks.
Okay, that's the reason.
I mean, all the other stuff has been said. I agree with all of it. It's all true. The Victoria Hand stuff and getting 2 demons and not leaving a body behind. That's all real stuff. And the rock synergy, I think it's going to be real. I'm excited.
Great. Caliban, Horseman of Pestilence. We get a Caliban variant card before we get an actual Caliban card. 3/4 objective. Have 3 cards that are 4 cost or higher in play. Afflict the highest cost enemy card with -7 power. This is a 3 for me. And I know that a lot of the things that were said about Juggernaut could be said about this, right? Like a 2/8 versus a 3/11. But this can attack multiple lanes. And I don't know, 3/11 just feels like a better rate to me. It's not actually a better rate. It's actually a slightly worse rate than 2/8. But there's not a lot of 3s that can compete with that kind of power.
Jack Flag.
3 is when you're getting to costs where you start. Well, and Jack Flag is a 3/11.
Yeah.
Right? Until you... Right.
Until
I mean, I guess unless you do Captain Carter things.
I'm saying
Captain Carter has to be after him.
Or you need to have played Surfer, or you need a location that buffs everything at that location, which is a lot of locations.
Yeah. Caliban seems like an easier 3/11, right? Or like we have like Starbrand that's a 3/10, but you have to deal with his ongoing.
Oh, I'm never not getting
this
the
is
Jack
easier.
Flag points.
All right. Are you always getting him going on 4 cards every single time?
Every time I need to, yeah. I mean, sometimes you only need to hit
every time you need to.
Like sometimes there's a surge in the lane that just stays at 2/1, and that's fine because Captain Carter and like is there next to her, and everything in the back row is enormous.
Yeah. The main reason I'm higher on this card than Juggernaut or spoiler Celine, who is a similar card also, is I know what deck he goes in, and it's Doom 2099, and it's not an especially strong deck, but like he's just a 3/11 in that deck. It's very easy to have 3 4-cost cards there. Also, Doom and Zola are the 2 easiest ways to make sure that you meet the requirements. So there will possibly be other decks that use this, but I just like I know at least one home for him, and I don't know a home for Juggernaut. Ben.
What did we give Juggernaut? We gave it all right. See, I'm looking at my notes where I was prepared to give Juggernaut a 2. And so I was going to give Caliban a 2, but I don't think this card is any better than Juggernaut. I think it's a 1. That's what I think. I was prepared to give it a 2 also, because I guess I was feeling really generous in the 5 minutes before the show when I was throwing this together. But I'm no longer feeling as generous. That was like an hour and a half ago or something. No, sorry, Caliban. You're no free rides here. I don't like afflicting the highest cost enemy card with -7 power. It's like probably not the one you even want to afflict. I mean, maybe it's Iron Man, but it's probably not. And also, why would they? I don't know. I mean, I guess it's the highest cost enemy card, not here. So it does hit multiple lanes, but like if you're only hitting the first lane for 4, I mean, it's just like, it's like 3 cost claw sort of. It's not, I don't think it's, yeah.
3 cost claw is a positive thing for me.
It's
that
3
sounds
cost
like a good
claw
card
that you
to me.
can't do ongoing synergy stuff with. Like there's no way to synergize with this card. And it doesn't, affliction synergy is all about going wide with the affliction effects. Not,
claw is more controlled also. I know where that power is going.
I just think this card is bad.
Okay. Ree?
I disagree. I give it a 3 because I think that like Doom 2099 is what I thought of as well as the obvious. But the thing is, I don't think this needs to be an afflict deck, which is what makes it good. I mean, I've been hit enough with what is it, Omega Sentinel or something? Like that's obnoxious, and that costs 4 to play. That's a 4/3, not a 3/4. And so I think it'll be good. The problem is I don't think it's maybe necessarily great in all ramp decks, which is kind of where you're thinking of it. Because 3 is usually where you're playing a wave or a Luna Snow or something. That's where you usually like ramping. So it does feel like something like 2099. But in those decks, I think it'll be pretty good. So that's why I gave it a 3.
Okay, Ben, with the next one.
Alrighty, we've got Celine or Selene. I've been playing Hades too, and so now when I see that name, I think Selene. Anywho, Horseman of Famine. That's what she's about in this incarnation. She's a 4/4 this time, bit beefier. Her objective, as so many of these cards seem to have one, is to have 3 cards with no abilities in play. They could be rocks. They don't have to be, but they could be, right? Steal 5 power from an enemy card here. And that's steal. It's not afflict. That's yank. Yank that power. Have it for yourself. And stealing power is pretty good. That's what I think. And I was sort of fluctuating. Do I want a 3 or a 4 for this card? I think... I don't know. 4/14's pretty good. I was just saying how there are better 4/14s than the last one we were thinking about. I don't know. Yeah. Apocalypse. That was it. Yeah, I think this is a much better card than Apocalypse. And sure, I'll give it a 3. I don't want to get too excited because it's very difficult to leverage this with synergy, of any kind. I mean, maybe we copy Selene. Maybe we get 2 of them. If she's good enough to play once, she's good enough to play twice. That seems reasonable. I don't know. I'll give it a 3. I like this card. I think it's the best objective card since Gambit. That's what I'm saying.
Ree?
Also a 3. I think it's good. I mean, same thing. It'll be a powerful card in the decks. You're obviously putting in cards with no abilities. It's sad because it honestly makes me... I mean, do you think this goes with High Evo? I feel like High Evo, even just no ability... Patriot, no ability cards...
I think it definitely doesn't go with
when you're playing them, it's always Hood, it's always Demon, it's always like the other ones you generate. Those always just feel like more powerful things to do with it. And I feel like this is another card that will go with those cards more than it'll revive, no ability card. Like it's like we're not playing Abomination and the Thing, base with this, right?
I think it literally doesn't work with High Evo. I think that those cards have text now. Like once they get evolved.
Right. Oh yeah, you're right. No because longer. They have. You're right. But I mean, in that vein, it's like it makes me sad that there's like just no reason. Like if you're not playing high Evo, like you're never going to play Cyclops. You're never going to play. And these new cards still seem to me like I'm still going to do hood shenanigans with them. I'm still going to do the other ways you get like no ability token cards. This
definitely goes with
synergy. Anyway, that's just kind of a bummer.
She's weird for me. First of all, I just want to bitch about the fact that they're introducing a new keyword and 3 of the cards are the same. They're just dumb stat sticks. That's Juggernaut, Caliban, and Celine. Cool. Look at all the cool things we can do with our new keyword. It's the exact same thing. And it's like, oh, I would feel very yucky about the keyword, except we have slightly more interesting ones coming the following season. She's pretty good. She's a 2. Like 414 is big, but I worry about the opportunity cost and also the synergy because of what you have to play to enable her. Something like an Ultron will do this right away, but like Patriot Ultron is you don't see it very much anymore.
I think it's a new Rocks card.
Does she go in the Rock deck? I don't know. Like she might go in the Rock deck. She might be big enough. 414 is quite large, but that's 4 energy you're not spending towards your actual strategy. And that's my concern. So I'm giving her a 2 because I worry about her opportunity cost. But she's big. I would be surprised if there weren't decks that tried to squeeze her in. But she feels like a plan B to me.
You called it, though. That's why Iska felt so good, because these are all just like, here are things that Marvel Snap does, adding power, taking away power, moving things. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like a cool new thing. It's just like slop of things that already exist. That's what Iska was like, oh yeah, here's an ability to read, to think about, like, I don't know.
It's like unfortunate, because like Gambit's objective is like, his ability is pretty cool, but I don't want it in the game. And I don't want it to happen to me. Like, but it's like the most interesting one.
Yeah.
Ree, with our other event card.
Oh, yes. Previously mentioned Ozymandias. I know a lot of us out there are thinking of the Percy by She Shelley poem. Okay. It's a 5/9, with the ability ongoing, your rocks have +3 power. Oh man, I used to have Ozymandias memorized, the poem. I used to memorize my favorite poems. And I'm like, now it's been many years since I've like tried to recite it from memory. I could only probably get the last 2 lines or something. Okay, anyway. So, but do I like this? Yes, I like this. I mean, it goes only in racks, but it's like the rack card. You're not going to play a rack deck without Ozymandias. So that puts it between, I don't know, like, it's like, do I then give it the 4 because it's like the rack card? You know what I mean? It's kind of archetype defining. Like it's like MODOK doesn't go in every deck at all, but like, he honestly doesn't even go in every discard anymore, maybe, but he still goes in a lot.
MODOK is still an
fine,
easy 4.
That's it. I'm giving him a 4 because he solidifies the rock archetype.
He really ties the rooms together.
Vibes 4.
Yeah, it's like you said, obviously you play him with rocks and there's no other reason to play him anywhere else. Arguably, he's another dumb stat stick, but
yeah,
he can be a bigger stat stick. If you get 4 rocks or more, he's the biggest of the 4 we've looked at. And I think getting 4 rocks is actually pretty reasonable. We have 3/7 debris that just gives you 2 for free. We have, what is Rhino now? Like a 2/5?
Yeah,
I don't know what Rhino is, but he gives you a rock for free. Like, there are ways to get rocks. And then we have stuff like Sandstorm and Mole Man coming. I think Ozymandias gets big enough. And then he also has things to plug into like Onslaught or Mystique if you really want to get kooky with it. So yeah, he's a 3 for me. Like, I don't think the rock archetype is going to be super crazy good. Like, I think unfortunately Sandstorm's probably better with Victoria Hand than with leaning fully into rocks. But like, it looks pretty playable to me. These are big numbers.
Here's another one where I was kind of on the fence. Do I want to go 3? Do I want to go 4? This card is just like better than Gilgamesh, right? Like pretty significant. I mean, people aren't playing a ton of Gilgamesh these days, but like, wow, this is a big old fiber, huh? On like hitting multiple lanes,
very big
lanes. Like this is like a really big card. It's natural stats are 5/9 before we start looking at the rocks, which you will surely have a lot of, like 4+ for sure. Like, I don't know, 521 does it for me. That's yep. You know, I'll give it a 4 because I can't give these rocks cards. I refuse to give them less than a 3 because I'm just here for the rocks. But like, I think this one is like pretty good. I'm a little worried about this. I think rocks is going to be. I think to use the parlance of the Bachelor franchise, I think some of these rocks players aren't here for the right reasons. That's the thought that I think I'm going to be thinking a lot during rocks season. I'm going to be like, these players they don't love rocks for rocks. They love rocks for winning a bunch of cubes all the time. That's what I think we're going to be thinking. And like, we're going to miss the days when rocks were just for the weirdos and the true believers.
Yeah, they're too serious. They're gonna ruin rocks.
You know, that's very convincing. This whole time I've thought that Sandstorm must be better because of its ties to like Victoria Hand. But
I think Sandstorm is good because it hangs out with this card.
It doesn't take a lot of shenanigans to make this card crazy. Like, just Mystique alone is pretty big.
Yeah. Yep.
And it could be Mystique Chameleon.
Mystique
right?
and Debris
like, there's
on the
stuff
last
you could
turn.
do. Or Mystique Prodigy.
Maybe your opponent doesn't even
Mystique,
see the rocks yet. They don't even believe you have the rocks. But then, like, or maybe they've only seen like 2 rocks, but then you add 2 more rocks and a second copy of the Ozymandias effect. Like, ooh, baby. Oh, man, this is
Think of like the memery. Like, every time they Terrax the Tamer you or you hit Subterranean, it's like, you've only made me stronger. Like, not really, because you still like would rather probably draw your other cards than rocks, but like, you know.
But the collapsed mind.
More than if you didn't.
With that collapsed mind, huh?
I love a deck where you can keep collapsed mine alive. It's not a very easy thing to do, but it's like so fun when you win. It's really fun when you win without ever triggering it.
I also think that's a really fun puzzle. I'm like, can I keep it?
Yeah.
Also, sometimes there's a really urgent thing you need to play on turn 2 or 3.
Totally.
And you have to skip a later turn. And that's always fun to think about.
That's an interesting decision. Yeah, I really like that location.
It's a great location.
Except against Destroy, because suddenly they get a free death.
Yeah, they have a huge advantage.
Yeah. Okay, our last card of the season. I think many people will think of it as a joke card, but it has grown on me a lot. Ramatut, a Kang variant. 4/5 on reveal. Use 3 on reveals from cards released before Ramatut's time. And then I have in our show notes a big list of, I don't know, it's probably like 60-ish cards, maybe more than that. 60 to 80 on reveals that are older on reveals that he can pull from. Most of the bad ones are taken out, but there are some bad ones in here, including MODOK and Dokken. MODOK is like actively bad, and Dokken is like useless and does clog your hand a little bit. What did you say, Ben?
It's 99. These are 99 different effects that you might get 3 of.
99. And this was data mined in January, so it might change what the actual final list is.
Maybe it's not.
We don't know exactly how it's going to work. But let me tell you the main reason this card has grown on me so much. If you multi-proc it, I think it's going to pick 3 new ones every time. And it's going to do each of those ones multiple times. This is a very, very silly card with Wong.
You think you're guaranteed to get no repeats?
I think you would get no repeats within a set of 3. And then, number 4, 5, 6 could be a repeat. Yeah, it could be a repeat, but I don't think that 4, 5, 6 will be the same as 1, 2, 3.
No, that would be very unlikely. Hugely unlikely.
Yeah, I don't think it's not changing its text, so I don't think it's locking in. And so then I'm thinking like, okay, you have like Wong Mystique, which, as soon as we're going into that, maybe that's not how we should evaluate a card's strength, but that means this guy's using 12 on reveals 4 times each. Like, you're going to get something good in there, even if you get MODOK. Maybe you play this on the last turn.
I don't think
take away all the
so
shenanigans.
Many of these effects that you don't want on the last turn as much as you want on earlier turns. I think you should play Ramata earlier than the last turn.
I agree. Earlier is better because then you can react to the RNG. And if he does something bad for you, it's a retreat. But I think this card is good enough that you can gamble on it, and it will very often be an above rate 4-cost card. So I'm actually going to give it, I'm like between 2 and 3 for it, because yes, it's a huge gamble, and I know people will underrate this card because of the variance. But like, even if you get 2 medium things that like don't really make a big difference and 1 strong thing, it's not the worst,
But is it part of a game-winning strategy?
That's the thing, is the only way that you can synergize with it is just try to use it as many times as possible.
Also, one of the cards is Dakin. What are you going to do with that Muramasa Shard? Huh? I mean, to be fair,
Right,
3 of the
nothing.
other cards are are like symmetrical discard, or not even. No, man, there are a lot of discard cards on this list.
Oh, there is Moon Knight, huh?
And
Who else did you
Silver
see?
Samurai. Also,
Oh.
I think I was miscounting because I saw Black Bolt first, and I was like, how many of these cards are discarding cards from the opponent's hand? That was like the first thing that tipped me off that this is not a turn 6 card. Is, yeah.
Or Anti-Venom is another, America Chavez. Like, these are things that you want to happen later.
Yeah.
Or you want another turn.
Cable.
I like this card. This card reminds me a lot of Cersei as a card that can just have high value if it gets a good hit. And then I like the idea of
sometimes it is
multi-procking
Cersei.
it to increase the odds of getting a good hit. I gotta commit, I guess. I'll give it a 3.
Okay, if it's to me, because you both talked, did you rate it, Ben?
Ben.
Oh, all right. I'm going to give it a 2 because I do think that like there is a certain amount of raw power here. But I think that honestly, looking at this list, there are a lot of these effects you don't really want. Like there's some of these effects that are like a real toss up, like Arrow. Is that going to do something good for you, or is that going to like do something bad for you? And then a lot of these effects kind of like don't matter. Like you got like Agent 13, and I don't think that's a thing worth thinking about really. Like you are you gonna Legion a bad location? Because you really might. Are you gonna Taskmaster a low power card that you played previously because you can't be bothered to like protect yourself from all of these edge cases? I really don't think I don't think this card is going to be consistently good enough to have homes anywhere. That's what I think. I don't know.
It's kind of just a fun card.
Like the high rolls will be impressive. Like when you get Ares into Blob, that'll be cool. But if you get Blob into Ares, you're probably not getting the Ares effect. Like there are like so many ways these things can combine. Like Dr. Octopus might screw you. Man, a lot of these things might screw you. Even Magneto. If you Magneto a lane you don't want to Magneto, like, man, I don't know about some of these. Yeah. I think this one's a 2.
Okay. Ree?
Okay. Also a 2 for me. Because I love randomness. But I like it where we mostly like it, which is in hand, where we can decide, whether to play it and where and how it's going to work. And that's the kind of randomness I usually deal with. I don't like randomness that is completely outside of my control, though I do enjoy Cersei from time to time. Obviously, it'll win some games. And I would totally play this once again. It's a 2 because, yes, it'll high roll. I would totally play it with like a helicarrier nonsense, like stuff. Sure. Like hit a MODOK, I don't know. That's the kind of thing I'm playing with it. Where it's just kind of silly and nonsensical like that. That's what I want to do with it. And I'd still rather play it than Jessica Jones. So like, it's a 2. I mean, that's fine. All the new cards that are coming out, I would still rather play over some Series 3 cards that just suck, that are ones for me.
That's true.
So, like,
Well, Jessica Jones is a Series 1. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
But she's a tier 1. Like, you know, character-wise, she deserves better.
She really is.
Right.
Yeah.
But rather than buff her, they're just going to make Jessica Jones master of the detective agency.
Power creep. Just the old cards are no good. The new cards are just always going to be better. And it's just a bummer. It's just tied in with like random characters, I guess.
Yeah. Which is like makes it a decent solution to make new versions of the characters so that we can get a good version of Jessica Jones, for example. But yeah, I definitely would like to see them buff older cards, but I think they want there to be clear upgrades that you can make as your collection grows. I'm so tempted to give it a 2, but like, I think people are underestimating it. And I want my 3 to represent like, no, this card is not as bad as you think it is just because it's random. And yeah, the output randomness is a lot scarier than input randomness, but, I don't know. I think this
it'll win. It's just not the way I like to game. It's just not my play style of randomness I usually go for.
It's probably not a good card to play if
unless
you are trying to win. Yeah. All right, I'll give it a 2 to represent that it's
I don't think you can.
Yeah, you snap after, which is that's a less
it's
powerful thing to do.
It's a yellow card. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're playing tank. You're doing the nonsense, you know, like I feel like that's where this goes, and it'll be fun when you have that attitude.
I actually do think it's really strong if you're doing Wong shenanigans, but can you count on a card to do that reliably? I don't know. Probably not. There's tech around always. Okay. Well, which of the cards in this season are you most excited for?
That aren't random. You're doing Wong stuff.
I think just the fact that he's doing 3 things twice, and then that scales as you get more output. I think that it makes him very silly when you get a lot of procs. What's your favorite card? What's the one you're most excited about? And while you think about it, I'll tell you that I am most excited about. I think I'm probably going to play Iska the most, but the Rocks deck looks really fun, so I'm gonna go with Ozymandias.
I will also go with
okay, I'll go. Okay. I was actually gonna go with Iska. I think Ozymandias is what will ruin the Rock Dream for me. Like I'll have to wait for it to go out of meta again. Like it just won't be fun when everyone's doing it.
You could just do something cute with it. You can still use it, but do it in a different way than everybody else is.
Yeah. Everyone's going to be playing Killmonger that week. We're going to have to, be putting in some Kaya or some, stuff.
Right. Is Kyara coming out ever? Maybe. I don't think so, but maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
Ben? Do you have a most excited of the season?
I'm here for Ozymandias.
Yeah, he said Ozymandias.
Or however we emphasize these dang syllables. I don't care. I'm here for Rocks, and Cheesy Pete's he's going to be huge. That's a lot of stats. It's too much stats. They're going to be here for the wrong reasons, I tell you.
Usually you're against cards that are so good. All right. Well, thanks for chatting through those with me. On to our side quests. Week in Snap. Ben, how was your week in Snap? And keep it snappy.
Oh, my week in Snap. Endeavoring to keep it snappy. I forgot to get my timer set up. I'll just have to eyeball it. Anywho, I'll try to keep it, 4 or 5 minutes or whatever. I did play some Snap, as I mentioned. I finished up the Infinite Climb. I wasn't really sure. It was just going so well. I had to clear dailies and stuff, and you clear dailies, and then the rank goes up, and you just, might as well. And the deck I played, I believe I already told y'all about. It was that Jack Flag Surfer. Although I played a lot of different things on my way to Infinite. A lot of the climbing happened with last week's Secret Homework deck with Major Victory. You know, that's. But mostly I've been playing Mugenics. Oh my gosh, there's so much game there, just like too much game. You know, I think it was like yesterday I found out there are matching armor sets with bonuses when you wear enough pieces of the matching armor. And I figured that about like an embarrassing number of hours into the game. Not like it's embarrassing that it took me that long to figure out that was a thing. It's just that like that game is so laden with mechanics and things, and also they roll the stuff out like so slowly. Like, man, you will be seeing new stuff for so many hours, for so many hours. I have put like epic JRPG amounts of hours into this game, and I'm still at 50% completion. Like there's so much going on here.
Binding of Isaac was very much that way. So
it all still remains.
Is it growing on you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I loved it last week.
It sounds like it's growing on you, though.
Yeah, the runs I think maybe take a little longer than they should. Like the loop of the runs is maybe a little too long. Like it takes longer to do a single run. Even like there are runs of different lengths you can do. I don't want to like spoil too much stuff, but depending on, I don't know. The music's pretty great. Most of it. There's one track that I turn the volume down all the way on because like you'll hear these songs a lot. They will loop a lot. For those who are playing, I don't care for the track that plays when you fight the Throbbing King, so I turn that one off. But like most of the other songs are bangers. The best ones are the first one in the first area, Chasing Rats. You're going to hear so much of that song, and that's great because it's awesome. Tasty legs and crispy thighs on my mind. You know the one. Anywho, maybe you don't know the one, but it's great. Other great ones include the one in the caves. The one in the caves is pretty good. About I don't want to spoil anything. That one's pretty good. The one in the vault from Fallout. Oh my gosh, you get to the second region and they're just like lifting shit. You basically go to a Fallout vault. It's like pretty specific. I mean, like, sure, it's just a bunker, but like it's basically a vault from Fallout, and you'll find Fallout type shit in there, cults and things.
That's great.
And then if you decide to go to the other place in the second act, you take the other branching path. You go to a place that's like just the crater from Annihilation, down to having the shimmer and everything. Like it's very silly. You go everywhere in this game. You go to space, go to the center of the earth that also is kind of hell. You know, there's just a lot. There's a lot to do. I haven't even been all the places. I've been to the Ice Age. There's a lot going on. I've rolled credits once. It was very clearly not the end of the game, but I'm pretty sure they're going to make me roll credits a few more times. Yeah, great time. Oh, I know I already mentioned that the music is great, but like some of it's real good. I don't know. I've gone over my 5 minutes, and I haven't even been that specific about the things I liked. If you ever want to know which classes are good, some of the classes are better than others. I got some thoughts about that. Just hit me up in the speakeasy if you want the pro tips on Mugenics. Yeah, that's been my weekend snap. Who's next? Ree, is it you?
Ree, how was your weekend snap? And keep it snappy.
Yeah, I actually have been finding more joy in Snap lately. I mean, it started out, I was like, oh, it's gonna be another week where I'd be like, feel like playing Snap. But like, I think honestly I've just been feeling better, and that translates into the game. I am still doing the thing occasionally where I like to just open up, a lot of times just open up a thing and be like, what deck do you give me out of nothing, you know? Still Cerebro too much, but like, the most interesting one, have you guys seen this deck? It's like a pixie deck with a Valkyrie and a Nihilus and Ultron and Patriot. Dazzler?
No.
No? Sentry and Shadow King. It's insane, but I was winning
awesome.
like crazy with it. I think I finally figured it out. I think it's a Kraglin deck, and I don't have Kraglin. But I think that's where it came from. But I don't have Kraglin, but I was like winning. It's so insane. There's so many times that I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play Ultron and win. Snap 8 cubes. Like, because they're just like, they don't even know what they're looking at with my like insane deck. Right? Valkyrie, Ultron, and Patriot. I mean, Ultron and Patriot obviously go together, but like an Annihilus, like, this deck's crazy. I love it. Anyway, I was just mentioning, I wasn't even going to mention it earlier, but like, you know what? We'll take you a little journey. I feel like some of the feedback we got, people like, I don't know, maybe not the decks. I was thinking about the thought processes behind playing and creating decks. But I also, just to say where I dabble, and also to talk about my failures. I don't talk about my failures. A lot of times, like I said, I slap together a deck, but it's like, maybe why didn't it work? Another thing I tried this week, I did randomly roll. I'm like out of tokens after Jack Flag and like randomly rolling some packs. I got Dragon of the Moon. And I was like, you know what I want to do? I want to put it with Moon Knight and a silly. I just wanted a deck. I'm like, what if it's a deck with no, with Moon Knight and no even cost cards for me? Because that sounds fun. There is one. It's Surge. So I made like a Toxic Surfer with Ajax as like, sometimes you have your little 5-coster and a Surfer, but like, all of that stuff. And that it was fun. I won with it sometimes, but it wasn't like I'm not, it wasn't one I was going to bring to share, but it's like, it's kind of fun to have all these little journeys. I tried to build a Nomura deck that needs some more work. But what I crossed Infinite with was, it's funny, I know last week I was like, I don't care about Infinite. it was super easy to get for if you're familiar with that YouTube series where it was like that's impossible, and it was barely an inconvenience losing the
I don't know. This is your secret technique though. You declare publicly that you don't care, and then that's when you cross the finish line.
Yeah. It was like, what happened was it was Zenlaw, right? And I was kind of like, I'm just like, what do I, that's not actually, it makes sense. Like, Surfer can't go home. But like, I mean, this is point. It's bad if he goes home. Anyway, but it's like, you don't want to play Surfer there because you don't want to pull your Surfer early, right? So it's not where you're, so I'm like, what 3 costs am I playing? I was looking at my decks. I'm like, I do want to pull a Moon Knight. I do want it to pull out a Moon Knight. So I busted out Meek-Apocalypse, which I could maybe have changed some, but I honestly I have Silver Sand. I love making people discard their cards. Honestly, I'm so sad that I'm not also putting Black Bolt in this. He just doesn't fit. But I find that's a really great way to counter a lot of decks. Just get rid of their hand. It's a lot of something they're not expecting. And people don't respect a Dracula still. Sinister London was built for creatures of the night and travelers of the night. And like, it's just like, you do not, I have an Apocalypse in hand. You could like easily just like be like, that's going to happen a couple times. Okay. Yeah. And it was just like, I don't know. I just went through the 90s with it pretty easily with my, I can share the deck, but it's just Meek-Apocalypse unchanged from them. Played it. And Gambit's still here. And Gambit's also obnoxious in the Sinister London.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Oh my god, I had a whole other thing, but we've been going way too long and I don't have it in me. Save it for another time.
Okay.
It's my week. Lauren, what did you do?
Moon Knight seems good for dealing with Star-Lord. Yeah, I've been keeping busy with content creation. I don't know, start and end of seasons keep me busy. New events keep me busy because I write economy guides. It just, that's a big thing on its own. Kiddo and I have, I don't know if it's a formal thing, but we're trying to, expand his repertoire. he's 14 now. He's a sharp kid and quite mature for his age. And you know, he wants to watch classics. So we're going through classics of all sorts, you know, not just old ones, but modern ones too. And this past week we watched Inception and he loved it. So that was super fun. It's really fun showing him like what movies can do in a way that he hasn't realized yet. Or like
Inception makes me like, okay. I used to love Christopher Nolan, and I have mixed feelings, but like I don't like the ending of like you decide. It's like, no, this is your story. You tell me what happened. It's like it's always my beef with like the ending of the book Fight Club, which is unlike the movie. In the book, it's a real like he's in an insane asylum. Maybe it's on his head. We'll never know. And it's like, no, you are the author. The only time it ever works, I feel like I've already even bitched about this on the podcast, Lady and the Tiger story. The only time it's allowed, and that was original. Everything since then. Anyway, I'm sorry.
It might be that
random
tension
anger
is what they want you to feel. But that's one of the things we talked about afterwards is I was like, that ending pissed a lot of people off. And he was like, really? Yeah, some people do not want it left ambiguous. If
it's the first time you've ever seen it, I think then it's like a thing, but there's a tying out. There's a what more are you saying about the question of how someone sees it and what someone thinks about it? It's such an easy way out of like assigning any kind of getting out of assigning morality to an action of getting science. It's like, no, it can be whatever the viewer wants. It's like, have a goddamn opinion. Okay, I'm sorry.
I get where you're coming from.
So fired up about this.
I get where you're coming from, but I think it's just like, you know, sometimes the goal is bigger than the narrative. Like, or the goal is something other than narrative. Like telling the story is part of it, but like, why are we telling the story? And maybe that's the right way to handle it. I don't know. Anyway, that was fun.
I think it felt pretentious, Christopher Nolan. I thought you could have done a better job, like making it more.
It does feel pretentious. I'm still loving Dungeon Crawler Carl. I'm probably
a student. I like pretension. Okay.
You know,
I'm like a third of the way
I was
through
so
the
moved
sixth
by
one.
your recommendation that
Oh, are you reading it too?
everybody's doing it.
Yes.
Oh no! I picked Water Outlaws for the book club, so that's what I've been reading. I should have gone.
Well, good news for you.
I don't regret it
yet, so I can start it at the same time you do. I had a gift card to Garbage Retailer, and I had to use it for Garbage Retailer wins. Yeah.
Wait, Garbage Retailer? Oh, I was gonna say I love
Retailer that
buying
stinks.
books. Oh, it's my joy. Okay, boo! Retailer that stinks. We hate him. Sorry,
Boo,
Lauren.
capitalism.
Please continue with your. I'm
fine.
sorry for interrupting to like rant about random shit. Okay.
No, it's like I don't know what else I'm talking about. You know, walking the dog a lot. That's nice. He loves that. I like that. I feel better when I'm walking him more often.
Yeah.
I find that having an audiobook I'm really into encourages me to walk him more or do more chores because like, ooh, I can listen to my story more. Been playing a ton of Picross because of that. Picross might seem like too thinky of a thing to do while an audiobook, but I have put so many hours into Picross that it is not super duper thinky for me. It's kind of automatic. And I love Picross with all my heart. Or Nonograms, you might be familiar with them as that name.
But the dog walking thing reminded me. Wasabi has been successfully getting extra playtime because it's really hard to be like, no, Wasabi, we shouldn't be running around and playing and stuff when I'm playing with like fake ass digital kitties. It's like he really wants to be playing for like a lot of hours of the day. And he's getting more of them than usual because I can be more easily guilted when I'm playing with my digital kitty warriors.
That's
Ben,
great.
you are so right. There's nothing worse for a pet owner than when you're video gaming and playing with like your digital dog or like petting them and you're like looking over at your real ass dog that's like, we could go for a walk.
So that's part of why I tell myself my playtime.
My pets are all well cared for.
That's why I've got so many hours of playtime, is because I very often have to walk away for several hours to let the kitty chase things.
That's great.
He wants so. He's got a wild personality, and he just needs to run around so much of the day. And he can't do it by himself. He needs my attention to make it count.
He's still a baby, right?
He's like, an adult. He's he's no longer a kitten. He's a junior cat.
Okay.
I thought he would mellow out.
Is that a eugenics term?
He is not. No, that's a real cat term.
Okay. Yeah. I'm starting to feel my dog's age. He's 8 now, and he's still very energetic sometimes, but also he like plays for 20 minutes. He's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm like,
that's the thing. I don't want to be like ungrateful for his vital qualities of wanting to run around all the goddamn time like a goofball. Like I'm grateful that he's in good health and has a lot of energy.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, it probably took like 6 years for Remy to slow down at all. Okay, on to our secret homework. This week's secret homework was assigned by Ree.
Okay, I assigned bringing a Snap to a new IP, to an IP you liked. Like, just some of the core stuff and whatever way you wanted to do that. And when I assigned it, I didn't actually know what I was going to do. I'm just like, I like lots of stuff. It'll be easy. And I won't lie, my very first temptation was to do card captures.
I have no idea what you just said.
I couldn't hear it either.
Oh, really? Okay. My first temptation was to do Card Captor Sakura.
Yes.
Yeah. No, but I didn't, because I was like, no, I'm not going to design this for Snap. I started thinking about, I'm like, no, because I know, like, somewhere, if I live long enough, I'm going to make a magical girl. Like, card game. It's been in my heart for a long time. So, like, I mean, just like the desire. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to do this for Snap. But I took it somewhere also that people will know more. I picked Lord of the Rings. Not a huge surprise. I do think bringing Snap to Lord of the Rings, some things I would change. One, I think it would be cool to have factions where it's like, I don't know, you have the Rohirrim or, the people of Gondor or something. And it's like you can only have one faction in your deck. But of course, there are like gray cards, like Gandalf the Grey that like would go in every single day that could, go through. And I think that would be an interesting way to like, to balance it out. And then for one thing, because you could just play that in a normal Snap style with different like locations from Lord of the Rings that do things. And because like the factions in Middle Earth are constantly at conflict with each other or, antagonism, at least hostility. But I thought it would be cool if in Lord of the Rings Snap, instead of versus, it was co-op. Because, first of all, and I will explain this like card ways, because I know for me too, every time I hear I'm like co-op, but how will I prove my dominance in the field of battle? Crushing my enemies under my heels, why we do these things. But I will explain. First, though, I think thematically it's great for Lord of the Rings, because the challenge of Lord of the Rings, right, isn't that Frodo, even the smallest, plainest of the, weakest considered races of Middle Earth, needs to bring the ring all the way to destroy it. It's the fact that all of these people who are different, all the peoples of Middle Earth are very different, have to come together to make that happen. Frodo could never have done that on his own. Sam could. None of these people could have ever done it on their own. None of these factions, Aragorn. And the challenge was getting them to all work together to confront the problem, right? So playing co-op would just, one, be so thematic with Lord of the Rings. And, I did take some inspiration. I played the Fantasy Flight living card game. I own it. I haven't kept up with it, but I haven't. And it's like Marvel Champions. It was the prototype. So they kind of streamlined the system in Marvel Champions, but it started with Lord of the Rings as a co-op game. And I found one, obviously it works really well for Lord of the Rings, but as a card designer, I think what this would give for card gamers who love card gamers and might be like, co-op, is first, it's such a cool, different challenge. When I started making things for co-op with the idea I was playing with other players instead of against them, it's different deck thinking. And that's exciting when you've played a lot of card games you've seen. I feel like Ben has talked before about like, he didn't like an ability because it's just this from Hearthstone and this, and at least this feels like a new thing, something with Snap, something with like the movement and stuff like that. It's newer to Snap. And with co-op, you have that. And you can still kind of have some competitive stuff with co-op, like how they did it in the old Lord of the Rings games, or you can in Champions, although in Champions we usually just beat it. We're not kidding. You can like score it, so you can have a overall win points. But I was thinking too in this game, you'd have some locations. I didn't do all the design works. I just didn't have the time and like, but like, I'm like, what if there's a mechanic where, like there's a ring card and you can have cards that interact with that and stuff. And the goal is to move the card, like across the locations in some way or something like that. And then you could have like a competitive team mode, like you and your friends against whoever and their friends. And what if the kind of, instead of conquest, like that thing, it was like a ladder thing where you had to keep moving the ring through locations until someone like, got destroyed or something. And that would be like, a fun way to make it competitive. I think special events they could do would be like, okay, you could have special events where you have all new cards that are like Silmarillion like era, stuff that you can only pull out and play, and they have like vastly different, like Gandalf is there, but like different. Full disclosure, I've never made it all the way through the Silmarillion. As someone that was forced to read the Bible many, many times. I know people who have, or at least on audio.
No, I'm sure. I also know people who have, but I think it's more fun to believe they haven't.
They're all lying. No one's ever made it all the way.
Every last one.
Okay.
It's the infinite jest of epic fantasy. The book that people lie about reading.
That would be an option. Another event could be like getting to play monster cards, and you could still have it versus. I thought making two different factions where you'd have to have, an asymmetrical, where one side is like more orcs and one side is where it's like that gets into queuing problems and stuff that I didn't want to add. So like, I think that would be cool. I thought they did a good job of that living card game, and they made basically a digital version you could play on like Xbox or something that I like played that was well done. And it's like, it's a world a lot of people love. And I think if they did it though, I mean, I don't want to say, like, second dinner's done fine in a lot of cases, but it's like, when you do Lord of the Rings, you get the lore right. Like, we're not doing silly stuff here. Like, we're getting our characters, like, thematically, it's got to be a good feeling. It's like one of the reasons people loved Lord of the Rings online, and it's, like, still kicking around, is because they respected I mean, people who love Tolkien and play this game, like, if they ever made this, they'd have to know, like, those are the kind of, like, Tolkien enjoyers are just that way. Oh, okay. Random funny story before we move to the next person from my last board game retreat. We were doing like a silly party game at the end of the night, and it was one. Have you guys played this game? It's where someone needs to guess a word, and everyone writes like a word to help them guess that word. But if people write the same word, they take it away. The person
just
guesses.
One, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
On
that
little
sounds
whiteboards.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And we were doing that, and the thing was Tower, and I was like, Isengard, done. And then hilariously, someone else had written like Orthanc, so like we had both the towers from Lord of the Rings.
So close.
He didn't.
So you don't want to write the same thing,
but like, yeah, this is a close call. Like,
we didn't write the same thing.
Oh,
yeah,
I got what you're saying. Yeah,
that was so
I
very
wrote
nearly
Isengard, and he wrote. Yeah, so like, and we flip our things, and it's like it's just these two, and maybe two other people got the same. So he's guessing mostly over this, and maybe one other thing, and he looks at it, and we're like, and it's just like he didn't get the word. Sorry, I know I forget we're like podcasts. You can't see my voice. We're just like like sparkly eyes, and he. And he couldn't get the word, and we're like, do you know? How can you? And he's like, this happened to me so many times. Like, I'm a middle-aged man with like a beard and like casual, cardigan hoodie style appearance who's at a board gaming retreat. I so frequently get assumed that I'm a Lord of the Rings fan, and like I'm not against it, but like I don't really know it. I don't really I'm not familiar and stuff. And it's just one of those. It was such like a hilarious to me like unimportant, mild like mistaken identity problem. Like people assume I like Lord of the Rings. It's like it's not a bad assumption to have. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I feel like I went on way too long about like SnapOn Rings. Who is?
Right. I don't know. I was fascinated by it.
Okay.
I think I'm next. Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to go to something that I love, and of course, there's tons of IP I could draw from, but my one true love, my biggest fangirl-lism is Nintendo. And I think Pokemon alone, you could like that's a very deep well you could draw from for characters and items and stuff. And there's some cool mechanics you could do with that. It's like an evolution or a type matchups, but I want to do all Nintendo. And I know that they don't really interact with each other, right? Like normally Link and Mario aren't hanging out unless it's Mario Kart or Smash Brothers.
Super Smash Brothers.
Yes. I want that. Because I do love Smash Bros. I talk about it all the time. It is one of my favorite games of all time. And the gameplay is a big part of it. But another big part of it is that it is just a gigantic,
everyone is here.
Amazing. It's a love letter to Nintendo. Yes. Yeah. And it's not just the fighters. Once you get into the trophies and the stages and the music and the stickers and like, there is so much love packed into it. You can tell Sakurai just loves Nintendo. And anyway, that's absolutely delightful. And that's what I want in this Snap. And I was trying to think of like, okay, that's fine. We have tons of characters to draw from. How is it different? I think tonally, Nintendo is a toy company. They've been making toys for over 100 years. So I think it would be more like a toy box, which would maybe make it less appealing of a game to me if it got too far casual or where things didn't matter. But I think that they would have, whether it's in the actual gameplay or just in like the polish, the sound effects, the animations and everything like that, everything would feel awesome to interact with. The other thought that I had that would be like, oh, this is something that Nintendo could do uniquely is do something with variants where it's based on like the era of gaming and actually have that be tied in mechanically somehow. So like all the 8-bit era sprites, cards, whatever, versus 16-bit Nintendo 64, GameCube, etc. Move on to 3D. Like, is there some way that we can tie these different generations together and not just have it be, like a Galactus and the Galactus First Step situation where we have 7 different Marios, but actually like, I don't know if it's factions. I don't know. I didn't develop the idea that far, but I was like, the different eras of gaming actually like, they actually represent something. It's not just different art styles. And I think it would be interesting to figure out how to tie that together. Yeah, those are my basic broad thoughts. I'm glad it doesn't exist because it would be bad for my wallet. Ben.
Yeah, it would be expensive. I hope I can hang with these ideas. I myself almost went Pokemon because like, you may know there's already a famous Pokemon card game. In fact, it's probably what I personally think the Pokemon trading card game is probably the reason I am here on this podcast right now. If you trace it that way, if you want to think of things in those sorts of frames,
if there's a chance that's true for me as well.
It was just like such a moment that when I saw the Pokemon cards, as a small child, I had previously been resistant to the Pokemon fad. I was like, I don't get it. I don't know what this is. I haven't seen the show. I don't have a Game Boy. I don't get it. My parents still let me play video. I don't see the appeal, but then I see these fucking cards with the numbers and the words and stuff. And I'm just like, oh, it's like this, huh? And that's spoiler alert. I fucking love card games. Always have, always will. But I was just like, wow, the Pokemon trading card game in its most recent forms that I've seen, like, the Pocket. I played that for a few weeks, but it just, man, there's not much there in my opinion. And I think it would be cool to bring Pokemon to Snap. That would be like fun and exciting, and like maybe do elemental stuff, and that could be fun and interesting. And also, like, guess what else I played? I played the Lord of the Rings trading card game too, when I could find anybody to play it with, which was not very often. And I was so fascinated to hear Ree's thoughts on like how to represent like some of these ideas and strugs and things in like a game, because like how that one worked, you and your opponent both had a fellowship side of the game going on, and you would try to take the ring across like 9 locations or whatever, and like get it there, and like your opponent and you both would have like a fucking bad guys deck going on at the same time too, or like
really.
Yeah, like you'd both like you'd have your fellowship going, and you'd be like playing orcs or whatever the fuck. Like you were like fighting on 2 fronts, sort of, and that was like interesting-ish. I don't know. I don't think that game was the best designed game, and there were just a lot of there was a lot of crap. Not all of the cards were good, and there were, of course, a million versions of all the same characters, and like. I still don't love it. But anywho, there was a lot of cool stuff, a lot of great stills from the films and all that. And, the films are gorgeous and very carefully crafted. And yeah, it was just fun to build decks that I mostly never got to test against other people, because I didn't know very many people who were very excited about playing that game. But I did not choose either of those options. Those are just interesting things that I was thinking about when my co-hosts were speaking. So what did I want to bring? I like a lot of intellectual properties, and I've seen a lot of them translated into card games already, as I mentioned. And I'm like, what's never card games? What's never ever card games? And I thought, half-hour sitcoms with ensemble casts. That's what. That's what's never card games. Star Wars is always Lord of the Rings is always card games. Fucking
I didn't think
anime
about
is always card games. But I was thinking to myself, where's the bridge here? How do I bridge these things? And you know what a Marvel movie I was really excited for was, I'd seen Captain America, the first Avenger, and I liked Captain America in the Avengers and stuff, because everyone's likable in the Avengers. Avengers was a very solid film, and that was exciting. But I was like, gosh, I'm excited for this new Captain America, the Winter Soldier, even though I was not excited about the Winter Soldier. And why was I so excited? I was so excited because the Russo brothers had been attached to direct. And I was like, oh, I know them from Arrested Development and also Community. But let's be honest, Arrested Development, I think they had a more. They were more at the helm on Arrested Development. I think they directed the pilots of both of these shows, but they directed more episodes of Arrested Development. And I love Arrested Development. I was just talking about it last week, and it's got a wide cast of characters and some iconic locations. You could have the banana stand. You could have the model house. You could have Lucille's apartment. They're like lots of fun locations you could have. I don't know what the cards would do. I'm not that worried about it. But there are like so many characters. Also, I don't know. Not too many of the same actors as in any of the MCU films. So I don't know until proven otherwise. Maybe Arrested Development is in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't know. I still hold out hope that like the Russo brothers are going to bring some of their Russo brothers fucking heat to these upcoming Avengers films, even though their recent output, fucking Gray Man, The Electric State, these are some hugely forgettable films on Netflix. I do not recommend them one bit. I found them both to be profoundly stinky, but I still think the Russo brothers probably have the juice, and I'm excited to see what they're doing. But yeah, let's get the fucking Bluths in here. What does Job do? Is he just a reskinned Mysterio? It's an illusion, Michael. I mean, like, I want to see Buster. He pops up, and his voice line is for sure, "Hey, brother." Like, I'm excited just for the
that
voice
would be fun. The sound bites, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so your pitch is Arrested Development Snap. Is that right?
Or Community Snap. Honestly, like my first thought was like the Good Place Snap, but I don't want to flatten the Good Place into game mechanics. The whole point of the Good Place is that you can't fucking flatten shit into game mechanics. That's like a lot of the whole thing.
I mean, it's a great idea. It's just the way you sold it at first. You're like 30-minute sitcoms. I'm like sitting here thinking you're pitting like Phoebe Buffay from Friends against Kramer, and I'm like, you're doing the big Nintendo crossover, but for all sitcoms.
You know,
cool. That would be amazing.
Sometimes
to be
when
honest.
I'm updating Marvel Snap and I have to go to the Google Play Store, they're like showing me some sort of animated sitcom card game that like looks kind of crappy, but like
it's got like Family Guy and
Bob's Burgers and Archer's there, and I'm excited about Archer, but I'm like, why you gotta burn Archer on that?
I played that. It's just like it's not good enough, you know, to like keep you in. Like I played it a bit for a while and like upgraded, and then eventually it was just like, yeah. It wasn't the worst, but it's like you can do stuff like that, you know. I think that's hilarious. I like both. I would play an Art of Snap, and I would try like just like sitcoms, like non-sensory. It's just all like different coffee houses and shit. The characters are meeting up. Okay.
Without the Golden Girls, I'm sure they're really strong.
Oh,
right?
Love the Golden Girls.
Just as a like, oh no, they got all the Golden Girls on a. I honestly haven't seen a whole bunch of Golden Girls, to be honest. So like, I don't even know what their place is, but. You know, the Wicker Mansion. I don't know. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Ben, you're citing new homework.
Oh, yes, that's right. All right. I thought I knew for sure what it was. And in fact, I still do. There was something else that I thought of mid-episode that like seemed interesting or promising. Oh, that's right. I was thinking about changing the subject to be, no, you know what? Sure. I was going to make us all design new mantises. Preferably with the objective keyword. But you know what? In honor of Kristen Ritter returning as Jessica Jones in Daredevil Born Again Season 2, coming soon to Disney+.
I'm so psyched.
We're designing new Jessica Joneses, preferably with an objective.
Oh.
Hey, maybe she's solving.
I already did, though.
Huh?
Didn't I already redesign Jessica Jones?
Yeah, I think you have recently done Jessica Jones.
Okay,
well then you have to do Mantis.
All right,
Mantis or Jessica Jones. These are our gals.
Take this burden upon myself.
And I mean, they don't have to have objective, but bonus. Yeah, sure. If you want to do rescue, Do rescue. That's fine too.
I honestly wasn't familiar with Rescue, I think, that much in the comics because I wasn't big into Iron Man until Gwyneth Paltrow. And now I just, to me, Rescue, kind of equals Goop in the back of my head. And I can't,
I'm right there with you. I'm thinking the same thing.
Decouple that.
I cannot decouple them.
It just brings Rescue's value down just a tiny bit for me, to be honest.
I hate to say it, but yeah.
Poor Pepper.
But I want to play her since I got the suit variant that I talked about, so...
Yeah, that's a good variant. All right. Well, listener, viewer, if you like what you heard and you haven't already, please subscribe. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers. That is an important milestone on YouTube. So if you're listening on audio only, we still like you, but please come give us a little subscribe on YouTube just to help us out. Rate and review, leave comments, etc. What is that? I'll find out what we look like. Tell us, what did you think we look like based on our voices?
Making me nervous.
That's always
usually my hair is cleaner than this.
I look the same as always. I usually wear black glasses. You come hang out in the Speakeasy. It's our little corner of Discord. Instructions to get there are in the show notes or the video description. We're proudly part of the Snap Judgments Network, where you can listen to other great shows like Snap Decisions by Joe every Monday. Yeah. If you want to hear more, tune in next week. Same Snap time, same Snap channel.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Speaking of these dang IPs, I got a thing. I gotta get out real quick.
Is this the note that I have from you?
I should have mentioned this during my weekend Snap, but oh my gosh. While Mugenics is just rummaging through all sorts of fucking distinct and recognizable intellectual property that they really have no business with, some of these cats, you don't get to name the cats. All of the cats come with their own names, whether they're strays that wander up to your house or they're fresh kittens. They all get random names from a huge list of names. A list of names that included Xehanort. That's a pretty fucking distinctive proper noun. That's the big bad of the entire Kingdom Hearts franchise. It's a very, very recognizable and unique name. It starts with an X. It's not. And another cat that I had named Sylphscope, a key item from Pokemon Red and Blue that lets you see ghosts.
To help you see the Cubone's mother. Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm like, okay, Mugenics. And I mean, I've seen some other recognizable names. I've seen Yuffie, from Final Fantasy VII, but that could just be a cat name. You could be like, well, I named this cat Yuffie because she looks like a Yuffie, but Sylphscope, that's some Pokemon shit right there.
There's only one Sylphscope.
Yep, and it's not spelled it's not like they didn't change the spelling. It's the spelling from the game, which is also pretty distinct, Anywho, that was just a fucking wacky thing that I thought was remarkable. So if you're playing Mugenics and you find any very proper nouns that seem out of place, do let me know in the
very proper
comments. What were you saying?
Okay, that is remarkable, but I just think it's like name generators are so fun to make, though, that just putting in random pop culture stuff. Sorry, this is another rant against Inception kind of rant where it's just but it's fun.
Christopher Nolan has had it too easy for too long. Get him.
I was working for my big space game. I did make a name. We made a name generator, and it was so fun to pull.
You're slapping syllables together, right?
Yeah, because it's a really easy coding thing to do, to build word banks and then just have syllable, and then I put a few simple rules to make sure if it's if the some things could have the and a few fancy stuff, but it's just and this is come up with fun weird space names. So it's I get it. I don't know. I never forget. I had this film professor who was he was let me tell you the difference between an homage and a cheap trick. He's okay, but when you know, and I forget exactly what he pointed out, but he's like, in this film, when it's you know, referencing the scene from an early film, here's how it relates to the meaning and why, you know, and it calls back and it's honoring that, and it's like got all this stuff. And then you have people like Quentin Tarantino, who it's just like, you recognize it or something, and it's just like, but it's just like, oh, it's just a joke between you, the director, and it goes no farther than that. And he's like, so it's just so funny. And I feel like this is that level of thing. It's like, I don't know, it's fun too. I like catching things that I notice. I'm just in the mood tonight, so I'm just devil's advocating everything for no reason. But like, it's just like, yeah, it's like, I don't know. We've gotten so into our own referential, like, stuff, right? Like, where it's like, but new stuff is fun too. Like, coming up with a whole new thing. Like, I'm hoping, like, when you play my game and you see a name generated from my game, you recognize that, just like you would recognize the art. Like, and like, sure, I'm gonna have a cute little, like, some little references to things I like, that are fun, but like, I don't know. I'm just, what are we doing?
I get what you're saying. The Silphscope is not inherently like a very meaningful reference, but it's just like, yeah, you know Pokemon, right?
I did.
Yeah.
Oh, also,
you had that vibe moment with Edmund McMillan.
There was one honorable mention intellectual property that I thought about suggesting that for Secret Homework, and that's Detroiters, one of my favorite half-hour sitcoms. So go watch Detroiters if you like that kind of thing.